Kuhn is the fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the call. Pyle trying to get his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort. Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the. Here comes the. Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful.
Wolf back. What's going on? It's your boy, the Wolf of Roto Street. RotoStreetJournal.com. We read and feed you fantasy wolves. Here with double digits now. Week 10. This season is flying, folks. We got 5 more weeks till your fantasy playoffs have arrived. Hopefully, you're all looking in good shape to at least make the dance, maybe hunting for a bye. But either way, whether you're fighting to get in, whether you're fighting to avoid last place, whatever it might be, you got to get the win this week. So let's get into it. I'm, of course, joined by my man CJ today. How are you, brother?
Doing good. Have you watched From Scratch on Netflix?
No, I have not.
I mean, if anyone is having a tough time at 1 o'clock and they're losing by 100 points and they want to cry the rest of the day, put that on. The saddest series in Netflix history. Honestly, it should be like illegal how sad it is. Just terrible.
Wow. Can't wait to watch that. That sounds like a real upbringer on this beautiful, dreary Sunday, rather. Looks horrible out there.
Feeling nice and depressed, I'd suggest watching that show.
Oh, wonderful.
And also, better news. Yellowstone back tonight, 8 o'clock.
See, I did the Yellowstone pilot once, fell asleep in the middle of it. Haven't tried it again, but everybody raves about it.
The first, once you get in, like once you kind of figure out like the family dynamic and everything, it's excellent.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just like, there's too many characters. I can't keep track of this. The edible's hitting too hard. I fell right asleep. I couldn't handle it.
I always have a rule. You have to stay 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you're fine.
Yeah, that and Better Call Saul are 2 that I can't get into, but I need to because I know they're both supposed to be fantastic. So we will see. But you're not here for our Sunday show takes. You're here for your fantasy football questions, of course, Wolfpack. So we are here to answer all those. As always, I will hit your quick Thursday night football takeaways, some Sunday news leading into today, definitely some intriguing stuff we got to keep track of. And then we'll get to all those questions, Wolfpack. So if you haven't already, please do hit that thumbs up. CJ, there was an issue that popped up, said Facebook isn't live. I think it is live now.
Yeah.
But do you mind double checking that?
There's a check mark now on it. I think.
Okay. Yeah. Can you just pull up Facebook, see if it's up live there? If you're usually on Facebook, hopefully you found us on YouTube, Twitter. We can't see your questions on here. So come on over on YouTube. It's posted in the tweet I just put out there. Would love to answer again all the questions you have. Would love to get to more people. So those likes, shares, retweets, all that good stuff does help us so much to grow. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday mornings. Let's dive right in. We won't spend a ton of time on these takeaways because I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about with these 2 teams other than Donta Foreman. What a absolute monster. 31 carries, 130 yards, and a touchdown. I unfortunately benched him for Jeff Wilson. So hopefully my boy Jeffrey will have at least somewhat close to those 19 points that we saw from Donta Foreman. But man, that was just 31 carries. I mean, when do we see backs get 31 carries these days? So good to know in the right game scripts, he's going to be a monster. Chuba Hubbard, 5 carries, so non-existent. That was the worry, was Chuba's back, and he played 60% of the snaps last time, saw 60% of the carries. It's clear they want to ride Foreman, and why wouldn't they? And that's kind of what I predicted on the Thursday show. Granted, I did say, bench him for Jeff Wilson, bench him for what I did myself, Cordarrelle Patterson. The other real takeaway is, my God, what the hell is wrong with Arthur Smith? Like, we already knew the Pitts usage, like, can no longer trust that guy. Another great air yards day from Kyle Pitts. Woo! Good air yards, folks. We don't play in air yards leagues, and it doesn't mean shit right now. Yes, it can predict breakouts like Chris Olave in the right circumstances, but at this point, are we really trying to cling to air yards for Kyle Pitts to justify it? 2 for 28 from him, but we started with Cordarrelle Patterson, only 5 carries, because, man, you really got to make sure to get Caleb Huntley another 5. You got to make sure to get 8 for Tyler Algier. And, why not sprinkle in Avery Williams? What the hell is going on? A 3-headed nightmare would have been bad enough, but now 4? Oh, just a brutal game for Patterson, who
that whole offense is just without. I mean, Mariota, I guess, is a little streamable, but that whole offense is just trash. It's
and he's at risk of getting benched any time and mid-game for Desmond Ridder at this point. So It is just an absolute nightmare factory. Damiere Byrd leading the team in receiving. It was nice to see Drake London get back into the end zone, but still, even he is so tough to trust when they're throwing it. I mean, this was a 30 pass attempt game. This is the most we've seen, I think, since week 1 at this point. And even still, no receiver had more than 58 yards. It's abysmal. It's gross. I thought Patterson was the one guy here you could truly trust. And even now, 5 carries compared to 8 for Algier, 4 for Williams, and 5 for Huntley. If that's going to be it moving forward, I don't know how you can trust a single person in this offense, despite how much talent they really do have. It's just asinine usage at this point. Other than that, we saw DJ Moore, 4 for 29 after he'd gone nearly like 170 yards. Last time against this team, the weather did slow him down, slowed down the Terrace Marshall breakout. But yeah, Laviska Shenault also found the end zone, but whatever. We're not banking on that one. So just a gross overall game. Not much else to take away other than CPAT, big down, Foreman, big up, and just DJ Moore is going to continue to be a roller coaster. Other than that, is there anything I'm missing, CJ? It's a rainy, gross night. I don't think there's anything else.
No, nothing.
All right, let's breeze
Although
through.
I know it's not Thursday, but NFL in Germany is kind of sick. It's so much
I
better
know.
than the
I can't
UK.
freaking watch it right now. I know. It wasn't coming in good for me, and now we're live. So what's the score even? I haven't even seen the score.
Bucks are up 14-0, but the crowd is just sick. It's unbelievable.
I love it. Who's got the touchdowns?
Fournette has 1 and Julio.
And of course, I'm starting Godwin and Evans in my league. Lovely. That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. Oh, fuck me. All right, QB news. Josh Allen, he is questionable. He is going to suit up at this point. Schefter confirmed. The only question is whether he's suiting up as the backup or the starter. Have we gotten any new news on that front yet, CJ? That's something we'll definitely be monitoring all day.
No, it seems like he's going to give it a go, I guess, but
right. Yeah, we don't know if quite yet he'll be the emergency quarterback or if he will be actually the starter. I imagine if they're shooting him up, though, there was a report that it cannot get worse with him playing. It's just a matter of pain tolerance at this point. Allen's the type of guy I imagine is going to gut this thing out. So I think he's going to be in there. I mean, last time after the play he got hurt, he roped the longest pass of the NFL season, like a 64-yard bomb. So I'm not overly concerned that he's going to be limited. It's just a matter of can he sustain the pain? And he seems like the type of guy that's going to gut this thing out and really play. So I'm out there assuming Allen's in. So he's obviously in your lineups, a top 3 quarterback every time he's in. And I'm going to play his usual weapons. Diggs probably in on Davis again. I know he's no longer the you must start him, stop asking about him person. But right when you bench him, you know it's going to be your 30-point day. It's not a good secondary for the Vikings, so there's definitely points upside here. That game could be a real fun one. And in DFS purposes, I can see a lot of people shying away after Josh Allen's been questionable. They've made all their builds, and suddenly he's back. Do I really want to revamp this? So at least not quite the ownership you'd expect in like a game that could easily approach 50-plus points. A good matchup for Josh Allen. I think Kirk Cousins can get it done too. So I like that game a lot for stacking purposes. I think it's going to be lesser owned than had we known Josh Allen was going to be playing. So keep that in mind if you're making some lineups on DraftKings. Ryan Tannehill, he's questionable for Week 10 against the Broncos. He ultimately expected to play, though, according to Ian Rappaport this morning. So he'll be back in. Better news for the weapons. But either way, I mean, across that whole game, the Broncos versus the Titans, obviously Derrick Henry's in. Maybe Greg Dulcich, a top 6 tight end for me this week. Really do like him a lot. And then I don't know who else you really want to trust. I guess Sutton and Judy are in a good spot. The second most points allowed to wide receivers with the Titans in particular. Number 2 receivers have bludgeoned them. So I don't know which one's considered the number 2 or number 1 at this point, who's going to draw their secondary coverage. But whoever that is in a really good spot. I'm not trusting Russ Wilson despite the good matchup. I cannot go there, even out of the bye. There's a lot of quarterback news today, and then not much else the rest of the show. But McVay saying Stafford's truly questionable, and ultimately seems like he's unlikely to play. It's going to come down to the wire at 425. He's certainly not worth waiting it out for anyways, but it does make Arizona's defense that much sexier. They're now up to my number 2 defense for the week. I already liked them. I already had him +5 ECR for the Cardinals. Now I have them at number 2. I think we are going to get a touchdown. It just depends on how many turnovers do we get. Really big fan of them. 2,700 on DraftKings. They will be the chalk defense is my guess. But either way, I'm going to have a hard time getting away. The pivot, if you want to pivot on DraftKings, my number 4 defense is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm really, really high on them. We'll talk about who they have returning. TJ Watt. It's going to be a huge difference for that defense, but I do prefer the Cardinals at this point if I'm going one or the other. On the other side of that game, battle of the backups. Kyler Murray expected to be out. That means Colt McCoy is going to play, and he played actually pretty well last time out there. I didn't pick up his exact box scores, but I remember his offense moved it pretty efficiently. He peppered DeAndre Hopkins, and especially James Conner got a nice boost when you don't have Kyler Murray stealing rushing touchdowns. That's when he had his 2 biggest days. He had like a 30-point day with Colt McCoy. So I feel a little bit better about James Conner getting into my RB2 spot, getting into my flex spot. I know, CJ, was it you that texted yesterday a question about James Conner?
Yeah, it was it's just kind of a mess of backup running backs and whatnot. It was Pickens, DeAndre Carter, Connor, Rashad White, Warren.
Yeah, that's a gross situation. It does come down to Pickens or Connor. To me, it's Connor at this point. Check down, with Colt McCoy. Definitely, I feel like the touchdown rebound is going to happen at some point. Why not this week? The Rams do have a good run D, but that's not why you're playing, Connor. You're playing for the touchdowns. You're playing for the catches. I don't expect him to have a huge, more than 35 rushing yards, but he could definitely add on, another 40 receiving and a touchdown or 2. I think he's definitely in play with Colt McCoy. It's weird that he actually might be a better play with Colt McCoy than with Kyler Murray in the offense.
I mean, that game is just going to be disgusting.
Yeah, it sure is. Absolutely hideous. Moving to running backs. And guys, we have about 20 of you here. That's usually about 40 or so at this point, sometimes getting up to 70 by mid-show. Let's get that up. Let's hit that thumbs up button. Continue to help us get out to more people. We will be on all your questions. We know that's why you're here, but we do want to cover some of this news in case it sparks a question. Some of you, I just saw a couple more James Conner questions come in, for example. Some of you might be reacting to things you hear, so we want to make sure to cover that to make sure everybody's on the same page. Jonathan Taylor is not on the injury report. We also do not have Deion Jackson playing. I think he's got to be considered a low-end running back 1 at this point, and if I have Taylor, I'm putting him in. The Raiders matchup is a good matchup. He has more pass-catching ceiling than ever before. With Ellinger at quarterback, he does not target running backs at all, so that would definitely cap the ceiling. But Saturday did kind of hint at, this was kind of in the quarterback news too, Matt Ryan's the backup quarterback, but he noted it is not a closed competition. So with the coaching change, maybe us fantasy owners can play. As bad as Matt Ryan was, it is so much more fantasy viable, this offense, when they have him under center, so much more passing game volume. They move the ball much more efficiently. They play at a faster pace. So I'm hoping Matt Ryan eventually gets that switch, perhaps as early today. So Taylor, really, really like smashing him back in my lineups. I think we're going to get 20-plus carries with, again, no backup in sight. Jordan Wilkins might mix in a little bit, but I get the feeling like Saturday is going to be like, we play our best players. I'm just a players guy. You know what I mean? Like,
I was thinking it's like really, he's going to be like fantasy friendly because he's almost a fan kind of. So it's like, he's going to do exactly what we want. He doesn't want to go out there and have Sam Ellinger do nothing. Like, it's going to make him look like an asshole. So he's just going to probably throw Matt Ryan and hand the ball to Taylor 50 times. Like
110%. That's exactly what I'm expecting. I actually think Jonathan Taylor, if you're trying to get real contrarian on DraftKings and your $20 milli maker, it's a risk, obviously, because he's more expensive than Etienne, and some of these just safer. Kamara, he's more expensive than. But nobody's going to be on Taylor today, and nobody should be surprised if this is the week where he has like 100 yards, 2+ touchdowns, maybe a handful of catches too. So good way to, at under 10% ownership. You never see Taylor at this discount. I'm not saying it's safe. There's definitely a lower floor than so many guys that are even cheaper than him, but definitely could be a way to get different and propel yourself to the top of those big tournaments. Aaron Jones removed from the Week 10 injury report. He's going to play. I don't love him this week. It's a good Cowboys defense, particularly good against the run, but it's Aaron Jones. He can go off at any given day, so keep him in mind. Ed Werder reporting on the other side of that game. This one's important. Zeke Elliott isn't expected until inactives are released. They're going to test it out, see how he is feeling, but they are expecting a, quote, conservative decision. He has a knee injury. He's never missed consecutive games, but as Ed Werder says, he's mentioned long-term consideration. To me, that suggests, unless it is perfect and they can just give him a normal workload, Zeke is probably going to miss this one. The Packers are an abysmal run defense, 31st in the rush DVOA from Football Outsiders. So I think Tony Pollard is absolutely in play. I know it's trickier because it has to go up to 425 and you probably don't have great pivot options. But I think even if Zeke plays, Pollard's a top 20-ish running back. And if Zeke sits, he's a top 5 running back. That's how you want to treat this one. So I have Pollard in where I have him and just praying that Zeke misses this one so Pollard can go crazy. If Zeke ends up being in, as we mentioned, bad run defense for the Packers. I don't love playing him, but I think nobody's going to want Zeke in their lineups today. I think he's a good touchdown bet. He's a top 12 running back in back-to-back weeks before getting hurt. I I think he can be a fringe top 25 guy if you're waiting it out for that time frame. DeAndre Swift is removed from the injury report. A lot of removed from the injury reports on today. I think he's in play, but still a little bit worried about a limited role. But I'm playing DeAndre Swift likely where I have him. Kyron Williams is active from injured reserve. This is your last chance to get a stash, see how he does. I'm not, again, I've talked about how I'm not overly hopeful. I was really hyped up when I thought Cam Akers was going to be gone and the backfield would be wide open for the taking. Now it's looking like a Cardinals, or rather a Falcons situation where 4 guys could get carries any given week. And it's just been so hideous all year. The line is bad. Maybe he takes over as a 3-down back. There is a lottery appeal here. He has a 3-down skill set, 110%. So I think he's worth a bench tryout. I just don't think it's going to be all that sexy. So if you have, I'd rather have a shot at, like, say, Jaylen Warren today. You could, of course, have Warren at 1, cut him for Kyron if he's still out there at 4 p.m., something of that nature. Should Warren not do anything? But that's my preferred bench stash of the day, with rumblings he might even take over for Najee today. I don't expect that. I don't buy it. But I also think he could be more involved. And given he's looked more explosive, he could take over that backfield within a week or two. So I like Jaylen Warren much more as a stash. I also like stashing Eli Mitchell right now. I don't think he's going to be heavily involved as long as Christian McCaffrey is healthy. But knock on wood, I hope I never have to see Eli Mitchell on the field. We know what McCaffrey's injury history has been the last couple of years. It seems like you talked to Marshall Faulk about staying healthier, and seems to be smarter about getting out of bounds so far this year. But again, you never know what could happen at any given moment. We've seen Eli Mitchell be a low-end RB1 all last year as a rookie, and this team's even more explosive right now. So I like Eli Mitchell as a stash, as a handcuff right now, coming back off injured reserve. Other guys you probably don't care about: Hilliard, removed from the injury report, yay. Mark Ingram's not playing, so Kamara, more upside as always without Ingram in there. And Jerick McKinnon is questionable but likely to play. He's been the snap leader for this backfield, so if you're desperate for a running back, Jerick McKinnon could be that guy. Moving to wide receivers, and thanks again so much, Wolf, for your patience as we get through this news. I do cover it just to make sure it can prompt any questions or thinking, give some takes on some guys and some stashes as we go. Deebo Samuel, not on the injury report. Quality wide receiver, too. Not quite the top 5 smash we had seen last year with Christian McCaffrey here, but I'm just so intrigued to see what this offense looks like on Sunday Night Football with both these guys. Do we get them both in the backfield at times? They both split out wide. Who knows? It's just going to be so fun to see what Kyle Shanahan, coming off the bye, a couple weeks to really scheme up some new things with Deebo and McCaffrey, should be fun. Looking at the other side of that game for Sunday Night Football, Keenan Allen is not playing, nor is Mike Williams. He's expected to start practicing, though, Mike Williams, as of next week. Who knows if we're ever going to see Keenan out this year? Not looking great so far.
Doesn't seem it.
Doesn't seem like it at all. Lost year for that guy. Sucks for your third rounder. I was intrigued. Never again. But Mike Williams, hopefully he returns soon. Until they're both back, though, Josh Palmer, coming off a top 10 wide receiver finish last week, 10 targets, 8 catches, over 100 yards. The guy is a hog. And so whenever these two are out, and I do think whenever Williams comes back, Palmer's looking better and better. Remember, Eckler told us to pick this guy up, given how the team was using him in practice. I'm a big fan of Palmer moving forward, but especially this week when he is yet again the wide receiver 1 for Justin Herbert. This one kind of hurt was Mecole Hardman not playing just as he's ascending, just as I recommend spending 30% of your waiver wire fab to go get this guy. He has an abdomen issue and will not play. That sucks because he was the wide receiver 9 in points per game since week 5. He had really taken over and solidified his role alongside Kelsey and Juju as the next main vein of this offense. He had back-to-back top 12 receiver weeks, and now he's removed. So what happens from here? I think Juju gets
you know what that means.
Kadarius Toney week.
Sky Moore.
Yeah,
it's Toney.
Sky period Moore period.
It's
no,
Toney.
To me it's Toney. I think
me
Toney
too.
ends up taking. You already saw more snaps than Sky Moore. So I'm actually big in on Toney becoming the fill-in now. Do I put him in my lineups? Ideally not, but I wouldn't be opposed. I bumped him up 15 spots. We've seen how explosive Toney can be. He seems like the most natural fit for those carries, moving in the backfield, move them all over the place. I'm very intrigued to see what happens with Toney, whether I play him today or I just have him stashed on the bench. So I'm getting cut by a lot of owners last week. Go check your waiver wire. I think he makes a very, very intriguing ad because as good as Mecole Hardman has been, it's less about his ability and talent and more about the role he's been serving in this offense. I think Toney has every single ounce of ability to take over that role if Hardman ends up missing significant time, with this abdomen injury. And maybe even if not, maybe he just needs the opportunity today to showcase what he can do. We shouldn't be shocked if McCole Hardman goes for Kadarius Toney goes for like 2 touchdowns today, and suddenly everybody's scrambling to get him. So in addition to Jaylen Warren, definitely like checking my waiver wire right now for Kadarius Toney to see if he is out there. It also does boost up Juju, has sneaky steadily, but a top 20 receiver 3 straight weeks, saw his season high of targets and catches last week. Big fan of Juju moving forward. It seems like he's really established that rapport with Patrick Mahomes and become that go-to over the middle guy alongside Kelsey as well. Brandon Cooks is questionable. He's in, likely to play. According to Adam Schefter, he did travel with the team. He wanted to get out of there, didn't get out of there, so now he's disgruntled. I was talking to Scott Barrett, and he was saying his source for the Texans, he has some like sneaky little webs in his own little sources with teams. I love it. He was talking about how Lovie Smith just absolutely hates Brandon Cooks. The feelings are mutual, and that he doesn't expect Cooks to really turn this around because they're just kind of freezing him out after he's been a little diva all year. So I'd be very hesitant to start Brandon Cooks. I will say this, and I think I might have texted you, CJ, on Thursday. His rest of season schedule after today is like pure green. So I am kind of intrigued to see him as a buy low. A lot of trade deadlines coming up next week. I love the schedule I see. I am worried about the team chemistry.
So that question I had earlier about the Connor Pickens, DeAndre Carter thing, I do have Cooks in my lineup. Would you go Pickens over Cooks?
I would. Yeah, I don't like Cooks today. I want to see him actually be a part of this offense.
Or would you go DeAndre Carter or no? Pickens?
No, I'd go Pickens. I feel good about Pickens today. No Lattimore. Coming off the bye, like at home for the first time in a month. I could see a huge Pickens day. I can cue the 0 right now, the donut. But this is a much worse secondary than the Eagles we last time saw him out against. I really like Pickens today. I don't know if I have my rankings reflecting how much I feel good about Pickens today. So I might need to.
I think he's only 3 receptions on Prize Picks too. So
I like that. I do. I think we got at least 1 touchdown. I think this is like kind of it often happens right off the bye. The rookies get fed a little bit more. Mm-hmm. They've had a chance to feel the NFL, have a week to kind of get their legs under them again, and then they kick it off for a big stretch run. I could see that happening to Pickens as early as today. We know him and Pickett have had a good connection since Pickett took over. I really like Pickens today. I definitely prefer him over Brandon Cooks, and I want to make sure my rankings reflect that. So I will double check that after I get through the news and start hitting your sit-start questions. But I do want to get through all of this so we can get right over there. Only a couple more notes, though, here. Claypool will likely be more involved today. I did see him get cut by a handful of teams out there. He only took 35% of the snaps last time, but he was still seeing 6 targets. So it was clear they were designing some stuff when he's in. We're going to use him. They're talking about him potentially being a full-time player today. 4,800 on DraftKings. Everyone's going to Mooney with their field stacks. Claypool could be intriguing today. Don't want to put him in my lineups typically, but I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what happens to this Bears offense with a weapon like him added once he gets more acclimated. We know there's some injuries for the Packers receiving core, particularly Romeo Doubs not playing, but Allen Lazard's removed from the injury report. He's been sneaky, the wide receiver 18 in fantasy points per game. He's actually been the wide receiver 13 in games that he didn't leave early. So he's been a real solid rock, great option. Definitely putting Lazard right back into my lineups, even though the Cowboys defense is legitimate, one of the top 5 defenses in the league. I still trust Lazard a lot. Watkins is off the injury report. I do not trust Watkins a lot. Do not really care. Maybe a cheap DraftKings punt. The other guy like Samiri Torrey is like $3K on DraftKings, but I'm not getting there. The only weapon I really trust here is Allen Lazard and maybe Aaron Jones. It's weird that I don't.
What about Christian Watson?
Yeah, no, not in on it. No, thank you. No, thanks. Jarvis Landry removed from the injury report. I don't trust him yet, but out there in almost every league. Could be intriguing to see what he does. He had a huge week 1 before getting hurt. So he might be a guy that down the stretch could have come into factor. He definitely fits Andy Dalton's style of play with those dink and dunks up the field. Josh Reynolds also out. Khalif Raymond's been the nice villain. Last week was his worst week across 3. The week we all finally trust him, he goes and shits on the field. But ultimately, I'd like Khalif Raymond as a potential dart throw if you're desperate. Guy I like even more, though, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Big fan of him. I just saw these. I had Amari Cooper in a lot of my DraftKings, CJ, and maybe I'm just overreacting, but his home road splits. Have you ever seen these?
No, I haven't. I know he's on like the every other week, though, isn't he?
It's not every other week. It's home road. He averages over 20 points per game at home so far this year. And this has actually been through his career, but it's even more more exasperated, whatever.
He likes sleeping in his own bed.
Yeah, that must be what it is, honestly, because he has over 20 points per game, depending on if you do PPR or not. And on the road, he's under like 5 points per game, even in PPR. It's crazy. Like he's had a couple shutouts so far. And this, again, it dates back to like his whole career. He's always been bad on the road versus home. But this year especially, it's like crazy. So as much as I like what he's been doing these last couple of weeks, Amari Cooper, I'm a little bit more wary of him now after seeing those splits. And weirdly, Donovan Peoples-Jones has been plus 3 or 4 games on the road compared to at home. He's been better on the road. I'm not saying I'd rather play Donovan Peoples-Jones than Amari Cooper. If I have them both, I'm playing Cooper. He's been an alpha all year. This is just a historical trend. Who knows why or how it's happening, but just something to note there. And for DraftKings purposes, I'll take that discount, 4,300 on Donovan Peoples-Jones compared to like 6,500 for Cooper, which looked cheap at the first glance. Again, I'll keep a lineup with Cooper in there because I'm worried about changing everything on just one home road split. But just something to note for sure. What's up?
Oh my God. The Bucks just threw a fucking go route to Brady. He fell and it was picked up.
Oh my God. A go route to Brady.
It was Fournette threw it, and Brady just like ran down the field, fell over, and it was picked. What are we doing? One of the most pathetic things I've ever seen in my life.
Great play design. You got to get Brady out in space whenever you can. My God. All righty. Continuing forward, this one is a guy to definitely keep trying to give you some waiver stashes. Jahan Dotson had 4 touchdowns through 4 weeks, then got hurt, but looked like a real stud. Looks like he definitely belongs on an NFL field. Big fan of him as a stash. He's only 25% roster now. They don't play till Monday, so you could potentially, what my hope is, fingers crossed, no one in my league that might be watching it. We'll see. If Jaylen Warren does nothing today, useless handcuff type of situation, I might cut him then for Dotson, who's playing on Monday night. He might get scooped up just from saying this right now, but I want to make sure you guys get all the advice you need. So Jahan Dotson, another guy, if you have waiver trash to cut throughout the day today, a guy that will be out there for Monday Night Football. I'm really intrigued to see what he does. He was playing well with Carson Wentz, and Heineke looks like he's playing even better right now. Last receiver note that nobody gives a shit about. Kenny Golladay expected to play and receive significant time. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, I see David Campanelli in the call-in line giving the thumbs down. He is a useless bag of shit, that Kenny Golladay. Not David Campanelli, one of our favorite human beings. Kenny Golladay, though, useless piece of shit. No reason to be in your lineups today. Not really worth a stash or a tryout. Alrighty, last couple notes here. David Njoku is out. Maybe Harrison Bryant could be your streamer. Last time out, he had exactly 0. He used to be, though, when we had Njoku out, Harrison Bryant was a smash play. So if you're desperate at tight end, I actually don't hate Harrison Bryant, 2,700 on DraftKings, too, for a salary-saving option. And then also, another potential salary saver, Mo Alley-Cox, Jelani Woods are both expected to be out today. Mo Alley-Cox was questionable. We'll keep our eyes peeled to see if anything happens. The only reason that would be mildly intriguing is the Raiders give up the second most points to tight ends, and Kylan Granson, the most athletic of these guys, the best pass-catching route runner potential option here. He'd have the lone tight end role. We know this offense. We don't know what Jeff Saturday's offense is going to be, but we know historically Frank Reich's offense has flowed through the tight end. So Kylan Granson would be an every down, never off the field type of player. I'm not saying I want Kylan Granson in any lineups, but he's 2,500 bare minimum on DK. And if you're, again, desperate at tight end, you missed out on Foster Moreau, he could be a potential option. And Evan Ingram's off the injury report, but I'll never play him again after last week. Notable defensive injuries, and then on to all of your questions, Wolfpack. Edge rusher TJ Watt is activated from the injured reserve. Unfortunately, Minkah Fitzpatrick was ruled out with appendicitis. Brothers in appendicitis over here, me and Minkah Fitzpatrick. But yeah, he got his appendix removed and is expected to miss at least a couple weeks here with his recovery from that. But TJ Watt's addition is so big for this defense. They're back at home for the first time. Having Fitzpatrick out does hurt, but I do think this defense is definitely viable, definitely in play today as a streaming option against a bad Saints offense that likes to turn over the ball at home for the first time in a while. They are definitely a fringe top 5 defense. They were a number 4 for me, but the Cardinals have jumped them since knowing John Walford will be the quarterback. Dustin Hopkins, kicker news, is going to be out. Love Dicker the kicker. Got me 8 points last week. You can kind of bank on another 8 to 10 points with this offense. He's you have Dicker in your lineup. What's better than that? I don't know. It just feels right. Marshawn Lattimore's not playing on the Saints side of things. That's why we were talking about earlier. I really like Pickens this week. I do think he's much more viable with no Lattimore there to potentially body him up. And then Shaquille Leonard is back on injured reserve. I don't know why we always talk about him every week, but somehow Leonard keeps popping up. He is such a big difference maker, though. So big for Josh Jacobs.
I love how he played one game against the Patriots and he like called out all their plays and then he just never
great game. Yeah.
Then he just never played football again.
And now he's gone. Oh, man. Well, that wraps up the news, Wolfpack. So please do consider that thumbs up button. Hit that for your boys so we can get out to more people as we get to all your questions. Last thing I do want to mention, though, is our sponsor today, Bettle. They're giving you a free $25 to play. The link should be in the chat there. We did get some technical issues, but it looks like it's all working out. People have gotten logged in. They found me to play. They found the name The Wolf in there. Use your free $25. Swipe away. Find me. Challenge me. I'll make sure to get to those challenges today after the show so we can square off. The way it works is you sync your lineup, whether it's Yahoo, ESPN, Sleeper, wherever you're at, your lineup gets loaded in there. You're in the arena. You can now challenge everybody. And they're going to continue to innovate, potentially put in some big prize pools and things of that nature. We're just getting on the ground floor here. So excited to see how this product evolves. Really good, cool dudes. Just really nice people. Love to support them. I want to check out Bettle today. I've already got a bunch of matches already lined up. Cannot wait to check it out.
I got 5 offers this morning, so I'm in those.
Hell yeah, let's go. Good luck if you check them out. And again, free $25 to play. You can check it out with the link. So it's not in the, I know it says link in chat. The link is in description, not the chat. My apologies. Link in description, even though we're pulling this off anyways in a second. But link is in description. I think that threw off some people on last show. So, all right, Wolfpack, enough promoting, enough of our news. What you really want is your questions. A way to jump the line here is that super chat button. Not just to jump the line, but also support your boys. Help keep food on our tables. CJ's looking a little starved over there. You definitely could use.
I know. Where's the mailbag today? Everyone wake the fuck up. Jesus.
I think there's early like Facebook questions. Error. I don't know. Yeah, the game's also on right now, so maybe that's part of it.
That's true.
9:30 London game. Do we have to start going live at like 6 a.m. on these fucking days? Who knows? But we'll answer what we have. We'll get through. And maybe it's just a later week. We will see. But thanks again for those of you that did show up. And again, any super chats. So appreciate it. Any call-ins as well. The link should be in the chat as well. If you want to call in and jump the line, that is always on the table. We'll start with our first call-in of the day, as we always do. Mr. David Campanelli, how are you, brother?
What's going on? I just heard CJ crack something. It sounded like a seltzer. Was it a White Claw? Whoa.
Truly iced tea.
Caffeine in early.
No. Truly iced tea. No
iced tea. Nice.
So this. I'm having a week here, Wolf, and I kind of need a little guidance here. It's a standard league. I have Pickens in, and I have Curtis Samuel in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm torn on getting rid of Samuel and playing Kadarius Toney. What do you think?
I think, oh man, it's tricky because Toney definitely in that offense has more upside. That's undeniable.
And with the McCole Hardman situation,
right? It's tricky. Like obviously his role should elevate with McCole Hardman out. He did only play 6 snaps last week though, so it's a matter of how quickly does he pick up the playbook. How as a Giants fan, like was he? He's pretty unreliable, and so as much as I love him, as intrigued as I am. I feel like Samuel, we know what we're getting there. We've had a couple duds throughout the year, as everybody has had. But ultimately, you're probably getting 8-ish targets. You're probably getting 3 to 4 carries. That's volume that very few receivers are seeing right now. So I feel pretty good. It is a tough matchup against Philly, but he's a little more quote-unquote matchup proof, given that his role is so varied. I would stick it out with Samuel here. I am bumping up Pickens, but yeah, I'm higher on Pickens as well. Samuel, but I have Pickens 32, Samuel 33, and then ultimately Toney's down there at 44. So like a tier dot for me. So as much upside as he has, as intrigued as I am to see what he does, I would go with the other two guys.
And then my other question for the same league is right now I'm starting Schultz at tight end, but I have the ability, somebody dropped Freiermuth and Dulcich is out there. So who would you rather have this week and then rest of season?
I'm intrigued by Dalton Schultz the rest of the year. I think him and Dak have that connection, but I'm also very, very intrigued by Greg Dulcich both this week with the Tennessee matchup, 6 most points allowed to tight ends, and also he's been a top 12 tight end every single week he's been in. So I'm actually benching today Zach Ertz for Greg Dulcich, given Colt McCoy's coming in. I don't know exactly how that will look. Maybe I'll regret that because Colt McCoy seems like the type that will dink and dunk, but I'm very intrigued by Dulcich. He's actually my tight end for the week right now. It could faceplant because it is Russell Wilson, and putting faith in Russell Wilson is bad, but I just really like the guy. So I like Dulcich the most there. Definitely this week and maybe even long-term, probably Dalton Schultz though. Rest of season, I feel a little bit better about.
Thanks, Wolf. Rester in the comments. Like, subscribe, comment, blast this thing to the moon.
Awesome. Much appreciated as always, Campanelli. Thanks for the call. And we got another one here with our guy, Jeremiah Moore. What's going on, brother? Happy Sunday.
What's up? Yeah, just giving my baby a bath as we speak.
Alive bathing, we ask our questions. Right? I love it.
So I think I might know the answer, but I want to see what you guys have to say. I'm in a half PPR league, and I'm playing Josh Palmer over Gabe Davis.
I would do the same thing. And I know it's tough, especially with Josh Allen playing, but I feel really safe about Josh Palmer. Again, 10 targets last week. We got some excitement over there, so I think the baby's agreeing. Josh Palmer's the play. What about you, CJ? Josh Palmer versus Daddy. Like, where do you draw that line?
Yeah, I don't like this matchup this week, especially with Allen being iffy. Even with, Case Keenum's not even terrible at throwing the ball, but he's just so boomer bust. I'd feel much more safe with Palmer.
Sit.
Doesn't it seem like it's always the dads that call in? It's like they just need like other men to talk to.
Yes.
Whether it's Tunes or Gio, Jeremiah, we get all the dads on the screen.
Yes. Call back later while you're changing the diaper. We'll make sure to answer any more questions.
He just had his diaper change, so you guys can tell.
Lovely. All right, Jeremiah Moore. Thanks for the call in. As always, brother. Good luck today.
Thanks.
All righty. And we got our guy, Giuseppe. What's going on? Happy Sunday, Giuseppe.
Happy Sunday, fellas. How we doing?
Hey, not bad, not bad. Excited for this week 10. How can we help you out, sir?
So I got two quick ones for you guys. I'm wondering flex PPR, Mooney or Freiermuth or Henderson?
Ooh, not Henderson for me. I'm not a big Henderson fan. Mm-hmm. And that really hasn't bit me in the ass too many times. Even when he does well, it's like 9 points. So I'm going to cross him out. I like Mooney. He's getting Detroit. Him and Fields have that connection. Fields is obviously cooking. We really need the lines to show up because when they show up and then Fields is forced to throw, we saw what happened last week. He had 42 points. Mooney had a nice touchdown as well. So it does require the lines to show up today. I think they will. I think we get a fun game there.
I think that's going to be a shootout. I like that game a lot.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by that one. It could, of course, be hideous, just like we saw with the Packers and Lions where no one really showed up last week. If that happens, the Bears are going to be slow and boring, and Mooney might get 3 targets, which would suck. But I like Mooney there. It was Mooney and who else other than Henderson?
Freiermuth, the tight end.
Yeah, I like Fry too. He has been nice and safe and probably get a lot of the Claypool targets, but New Orleans has been really, really good against the tight end. They gave up a touchdown to Likely last week, but other than that, he did absolutely nothing, and really no tight ends have done anything against them. So I like Mooney in that one. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I want to target that game. I love that game in DFS. I like that game in general. I see an absolute shootout there, so I'd go Mooney.
Let's go Mooney, baby.
Quick defensive one, Steelers or Rams?
Oh, it's a good one too. I personally just feel like the Steelers are going to come out fired up with Watt back at home. And Colt McCoy is definitely a nice spot for the Rams too. I bumped the Rams just over the Steelers today. It's my defense 4 versus my defense 5. But my gut's kind of like, I really like the Steelers at home today. I do, but the Rams are also at home. That game's going to be gross with Walford on the other side. Oh, man, that's tough. I'm worried, though, the defense almost gets hit with a offensive, a turnover, and a defensive touchdown, brings them down a little bit from the Cardinals. So the Cardinals aren't out there, right?
But if you're going that way, Pickett's also a turnover machine. So
yeah, that's true. I'm leaning Rams a little bit safer there, but man, you got that. That's a gut call. It really is. But I go Rams. What about you, CJ, versus Rams versus Steelers?
Yeah, it's a coin flip. Let's go with TJ Watt at home. He's such a hardo. He's he'll probably get after the quarterback, probably 2 sacks. So
yeah,
there we go.
I'm going Steelers.
I'm going Steelers in my league too. I don't have the option of the Rams, so we could all ride the Steelers together, baby. Let's do it, Giuseppe. Cheers, man. Thanks for the call and good luck today. Thank you. All righty, Wolfpack. If you want to call in, the link is in the chat. Remember to check out Bettle, and Super Chats will always get the preference. We know our man Campanelli is in the moderating streets checking for your super chats to make sure we can never miss those. Good way to support the show. A free way to support the show, though, is we got about 30 of you here, still a light crowd, but that thumbs up button does help us get out to more shares, retweets, all that good stuff. Hey, if it's a lighter day, it's a lighter day. I get it. Football's on the TV. Probably a little more entertaining than these two mugs. But either way, that thumbs up button does help us grow and get those questions on in. We got plenty of time to answer them. CJ, you want to kick us off here?
Yeah, well, Josh Allen's officially active right now. So
okay, and is there a note? We knew he was going to be active. The question is he active as the starter or active as an emergency backup?
No, I don't think we're going to know that until game time, probably.
Yeah.
I can't see him as an emergency backup.
No, I agree. I think you have Allen, you play him, and you trust the weapons there. That's kind of how I look over that. Yeah. So we kicked off with Giuseppe, who we already hit, Mooney over those other two options, and then DPJ or Cooks. That's an interesting one. Man. Any leanings on this one, CJ?
You talked me out of Cooks, so I'm gonna. Although DPJ is a little bit different than Pickens, but
I know.
You talked me out of Cooks. I'm going DPJ.
We're gonna talk ourselves out of Cooks. This is gonna be his breakout for a huge start to the second.
The typical red zone, like Davis Mills. The only time he ever throws over 20 yards.
Right. You see just Cooks sprinting down the field alone. It's like as DPJ goes for 5 points. I like DPJ a lot though. No Njoku. He's had 11 plus points in 4 of his last 5. His lowest in his last 5 games has been 9. I feel like there's a pretty good floor, and especially with Amari Cooper's road struggles, I'm going to go Peoples-Jones. I'm a big fan of him. I think his ceiling only continues to rise as we get closer and closer to Deshaun Watson. So I'm going to go DPJ. And then, I'm going to let Cook sit on the bench, but I am excited for Cooks' late run season schedule here.
Then we got Giuseppe again, Connor, Najee, Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Monty. Pick one of these.
That's like the entire tier 5 of running backs. It's pretty much all of them. To me, this one's I'm not going Najee, and I'm not going to go motion. If I'm going to go a Dolphins back, it's Jeff, and I love Jeff. I actually am all in on Jeff Wilson today. I think both Connor and Monty are a little bit safer. You got the Detroit matchup from Monty, sexy right there. James Conner, we already talked about how he's better with Colt McCoy, more touchdown opportunity in terms of not getting vultured at the goal line. And plus, I think he's going to be a check down machine. I think Connor's definitely the safest bet here, but I'm going to go Jeff Wilson. I just think we get a big Wilson day today. That's definitely the riskier play, but I just in my gut really, really like Jeff Wilson today. What about you, CJ?
I don't know. You talked me into Connor in my own lineup. I like Montgomery's matchup. I like Wilson. Definitely no Najee and Mostert, as you said earlier. That's tough. I think the checkdowns with Connor. I think I'm going Connor here.
Yeah, you got the PPR setting too, and that definitely is better for Connor versus Wilson. That could be the deciding.
I like Montgomery to score.
I do too. Against Detroit. I'm worried about my Fields. I have Fields going everywhere in DraftKings in my regular leagues, and I could just see it being a 2-touchdown Montgomery day, and Fields has 9 points and just makes me cry. I'm worried about that.
I'm starting him over Dak today, and
I agree with it. I think he's a top 4 quarterback.
I agree with it too, but I know what you're saying. I'm waiting for the floor to fall out on me.
I know, but maybe it won't. If they keep designing this many runs for him, as good as the matchup is for Montgomery as a running back, it applies to Justin Fields, who gets honestly better looks through the run. He is a big man that can really move. You
guys have been sleeping on him for 2 years now. I've been trying to tell you this.
He hasn't been used the right way. You know me, preseason last year, I was I had Fields in every league. I was calling him the league winner this year's, blow up lottery ticket late round quarterback, and Nagy used him like a piece of shit. This is exactly what I envisioned. Now it's happening. I jumped right back onto the bandwagon. I've always wanted Fields to be used like this. And that's how I always envisioned it. Now that he is, I have zero hesitation treating this guy as a top 5 quarterback the rest of the way.
Yeah, I feel like people think that just because he runs that he's small. He's fucking huge.
He's a big dude.
He's not quite Cam Newton, but he's he's up there.
He's a good middle ground of not quite Lamar Jackson shiftiness, but pretty shifty and speedy. And then not quite Cam Newton size, but pretty big too. He's kind of a baby, a half of those two each molded together. And it's great. I love the guy. That option on the goal line, nobody's going to stop that. So
I don't know why it's taken 2 years for them to be like, oh, we should watch like what he did in college and try to use some of those plays.
Exactly right, man. Well, I don't even know how we got there, but I'm going Jeff Wilson. CJ, you going Connor or Monty or Jeff? Who's your pick of the three?
Honestly, I think it's Takapa. I think you can't go wrong with those three, but I'll go Connor myself.
Yeah, and Campanelli just commenting to confirm. Justin Fields is 6'3", 227. So, yeah, big boy for sure. Definitely gets a nice head of steam. He is a monster there. What's going on, Fatty Mateo? Good to see a usual legend. How can we help you, sir?
Good morning. If Warren is on my bench, Yahoo will allow me to drop him around 3 o'clock for a kicker, correct? ? Don't worry, I won't hold you responsible if you're wrong.
So, Fatty, the default settings is yes. Like that, I do that all the time. And you got Cameron Dicker, the fucking kicker, my man, playing Sunday night. So you have all day to try out people. You have the 3 o'clocks too. You can pick up Kyron Williams if Warren gets cut. See how that goes, and then cut his ass for Cameron Dicker at 8 p.m. That's my plan of action in most of my leagues here. But leagues can change that. So you want to go to the top where you see settings. You want to text your commissioner. Well, you might be giving away your plan there too, though. But if your league typically follows the default Yahoo stuff, yes, you will be able to do that. There we go. Our man, like, sub, all that good stuff. Indeed. Thank you so much. The comments, the likes, and of course, the more people we can gain for this pack. We're steadily approaching 3K. I have full faith we're going to get there at our current climb rate here. But thank you so much for your kind words, David Campanelli. Greatly appreciate you being here and always supporting the show with your call-ins, your comments, all that good stuff.
Hey, Sarno, challenge you in battle today.
I'm going to accept it right now because I saw Sarno message me this morning, and then I had to go get a breakfast sandwich and completely forgot to answer the call. So I will answer that. While I answer questions, I'm going to find you, Sarno, and we're gonna get going. But yes, find me, the Wolf. I love your team name too, Sarno. Jacking Goff. It's like a classic. We've all seen it before, but it makes me chuckle every time I see that one. All
right, so we got Schefter just tweeted, Josh Allen is active, but he was not spotted on the field during warmups.
Oh, good. So now we get to sweat a little bit longer. Awesome.
Chris.
Yeah, yay. Not spotted on the field. So we continue to wonder what to do with Josh Allen, what to do with our Bills pass catchers. I still think he's in today. I do.
In Case Keenum's not terrible.
He's not terrible.
I'd honestly feel fine if you own Diggs, if you own Gabe, if you're going to play him anyways. I wouldn't bench them because of it.
Diggs, no, they have the pre-established rapport. You get the revenge game against Minnesota. Diggs is locked in.
I'm not saying Gabe's locked in, but I'm saying if he's your starter and then there's like some garbage on the bench, I'd rather Davis.
Yeah, I agree too. But Davis versus Josh Palmer, or I got a couple. This is a tough one. Brandon Ayuk or Gabe Davis. That's real. That's right.
That's where I'd probably go Ayuk if it is Keenum.
Yeah. I like Ayuk.
I feel like it's kind of common sense.
Yeah, exactly. All righty.
If it's okay.
Moving on to Juan Pena. What do we got? I'm trying to find
Juan Pena, who for my receiver 1 and 2. My options are Rondell Moore, Thielen, Judy, DeAndre Carter, Gallup, Burks, Landry.
Hold on.
Receiver 1 out of this group. That's tough.
Save. All right.
If I'm picking 2 of these, I'd probably go Thielen, Rondell. Actually, no. If it's I want to go Thielen, Judy here.
Thielen, Judy. Okay, 1 sec. Sorry, I'm trying to find my guy's matchup here. Send proposal. Not Pat Mahomes, boy. That's not him. Where do I see my challenges? Proposal. There it is.
The top right. Yeah.
See all. Is Pat Mahomes, boy? You, Craig Sarno?
He's not saying anything in the chat.
I thought it was Jack and Goff. But I accepted whoever sent me one. So all right, we'll continue forward. And then I'll keep my eyes peeled. I'll try to get off here, 15 minutes early so I can just double check these and find my bettles. But use that code in the description to let the Wolfpack know we sent you. All righty. I definitely I don't like Rondell Moore today with Kyler Murray likely out. Judy versus Thielen's interesting because the matchup
pick 2 of these.
Okay, then it's Judy and Thielen. Yeah. The other ones don't come really close for me. Is that what you were thinking too?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Juan Pena, who for my flex, Gibson, Jamal Williams, James Conner.
I like Jamal Williams. I mean, you got the Chicago bad run D, a lot of points potentially to be had. This just feels like a Jamal Williams touchdown to 2 game today. Would you go like I know you're a Connor guy, and I do like Gibson with no McKissick, but
no, I love
Philly
Jamal
matchup's
Williams.
tough.
Yeah, Jamal Williams just a touchdown machine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep riding that hot hand until he doesn't anymore.
He's like second in the league in red zone touchdowns, and I think number 1 in carries. Got to keep riding that out.
KJ Frederick, Daniel Jones, or Kirk Cousins?
I'm going Kirk. I trust the matchup. This was kind of my higher lower Hail Mary. I had Kirk higher, Daniel Jones lower. He's had the one thing with Danny Jones is kind of the way I was just talking about Fields is having me rethink maybe my Daniel Jones ranking is a bad run D doesn't just apply to the running back. It does apply to the quarterback, and Houston is far and away the worst running D in the league. So this could be a Danny Jones like 100 yards on the ground day. So I had him like 8 spots below the ECR. I'm at least closing that gap. And like, let me adjust Danny Jones. I'd rather have him. I really like Jacoby Brissett today, too. But I'm in on Kirk. I think that game, like, it's a good secondary, no doubt about it for the Bills, but it's a good offense. And I think this is just a good game that we see a close to. It depends on who's again the quarterback for the Bills. I think we get a good game there though. So I like going Kirk Cousins here. What about you?
Yeah, he's been so good lately. I'm staying with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I bumped Danny Jones up a couple, but it's still tough here.
Godwin touchdown for you, by the way.
Hey, love to see it. Love to see it. Thank you, Christopher.
Also, Rashad White had like a Derrick Henry type stiff arm through like a safety 5 yards. Philip Colton, James Conner, Singletary, full PPR.
I'm going to go Connor here. I feel good again about, I think we're going to get a big touchdown rebound soon. Whether it's today or not, we'll find out. But I don't think Colt McCoy worries me. I think that actually makes me feel better about Connor. He was a check down machine with McCoy last year. I had a bunch of touchdowns in those games. McCoy's capable, and I think Connor is going to get it done today. Calling the show.
Does the Singletary change you if Keenum starts?
It's even worse, but no. I don't. Either way, it's Connor for me in that one. I think Singletary is like 26 either way. It doesn't really change much for me.
Boba Fett, trade Chase in Amon-Ra and Swift in non-PPR. No, Chase for Amon-Ra and Swift.
6-3 non-PPR. I mean, this is a tough trade. I mean, I like both sides of this. I think since you're 6-3, you're likely headed for the playoffs, and who's going to have the bigger playoff impact? It's probably Chase, is assuming he gets to full health. The question is like, who's your running back? Who would Swift be over if Swift is ready to go and gets the full workload suddenly? So it really depends on like how much value Swift brings your lineup. Because I do think Chase is a tier or two ahead of Amon-Ra, who I love, but that's just how good Chase is. But yeah, I mean, if you need the running back, I think it's a decent deal. And especially if you're worried about your ability to get in the playoffs. But 6-3, I tend to lean the Chase side unless you are like really dire at running back there. This was the one that put us in a pretzel. I think we both all decided let's ride the Steelers, even though Rams do feel a little safer.
I mean, the next one's going to put us in a pretzel. My wife heard we breed and feed you and thought I was watching gay porn again.
Let us breed and feed you, Fatty Mateo. Yeah.
Maybe let's do a T-shirt with just that on the back, like a little football in the front.
A couple dudes just like banging it. Yeah. Breed and feed you. The key question here too, Fatty Mateo, is it's the again. Wasn't the first time you've been caught. Yeah. What was happening in the first one? Great comment. Fatty Mateo, comment of the day so far. If anybody can top him, please do.
Brendan Uthman, sit one, Gallup, Wandale, or Herbert?
Gallup, Wandale, Herbert. I have a hard time going back to Wandale. And none of these options are great, Brendan. I like Donovan Peoples-Jones above all of them if he's out there. I'm trying to think if there's any other like classic streams that I'd have above these guys.
He's just sitting one of these.
Oh, I'd probably say Wandale.
I would say Gallup, I think.
I'd say Gallup. Yeah, I don't love any more. I was just trying to think of like streamers I prefer over both of these guys. But really the only one that popped to mind was Jacoby Brissett. Maybe Mac Hollins I'd have over any of these guys as well. Big fan of him today with obviously no Hunter Renfrow, no Darren Waller. I think he's going to be a target hog.
Giuseppe, over the next
Brissett.
maybe 4 or 5 weeks. Is Brissett a good flyer for Kyler?
Yes, I think absolutely. I'm big fan of Jacoby Brissett today. Miami's defense giving up the most points to quarterbacks. I think he'll have some rushing potential, and I also think he's got the weapons to do some damage against that bad secondary. So, yes, I am in on it.
CJay, good morning. Happy Football Sunday. Let's go win, blah, blah, blah.
Thank you for the kind words of encouragement. Great to see you, Y2J.
Hey, we have a call from a Bucks fan.
What's Fire Byron Leftwich? What's going on?
What's up, fellas? All right, real quick.
Prize picks Hegs.
Prize picks Hegs. The Bucks are fucking dominating, but Byron Leftwich, I hope he dies. He's the worst in the world. That Brady play was ridiculous. I'm a little upset this morning. He's costing me money already. The first fucking game of the day. You hate to lose money in the 9:30 game, but anyways, I'll start. That's right. I'll start with my normal stupid fantasy question real quick. Flex, Kareem Hunt, Michael Pittman, or Jaylen Warren. A sneaky little. I was thinking about him. I don't know.
So Kareem Hunt, Jaylen Warren, or Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
I'm off Pittman until we see Sam Ehlinger just to the bench where he belongs.
Exactly.
I think I'm going to go Kareem Hunt here. He's always okay. I don't know. I don't know if I trust Jaylen Warren quite yet for the takeover. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I'm always kind of safe. I think Hunt's more safe than Warren. Warren could either get the bulk randomly or he could get nothing. So,
and we'd be pumped if Warren got Kareem Hunt's workload today. So why don't we go with the guy that's getting it that we know is already pretty talented too? So I'll go Kareem Hunt. I don't love it, but where do I even have Hunt ranked actually? He was on 27. I think it's Kareem Hunt. He's fine. He's solid. I'd go Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, I'm off of Pittman as well. Ehlinger is fucking horrendous.
He is it's so painful to have to root for that.
That's why I do think Saturday's gonna have 2 bad drives and we're doing the Matt Ryan thing. He doesn't want to look like a fool. So
that would be the upside play with Pittman because once Ryan's back, I mean, we're talking about a top 16 wide receiver. So
right.
That is some upside to that. You're not a big underdog or anything, are you though? Because otherwise,
no. I hope George Callis is watching. I'm gonna bury him. No problem today. So yeah,
put him where he belongs. Yeah, love it.
All right, well, segueing into Jaylen Warren. Also, I just saw today on Prize Picks, Jaylen Warren is 25.5 rushing yards, which I love either way. He got 50 or something last week. And if he is going to get more carries, fucking 26 yards, I think he can handle that. Cooper Kupp went down. I know is he not playing or is he very questionable?
Yeah,
likely out. Cooper Kupp went down 25 yards on Prize Picks. He's at 72 right now. I think he's a pretty talented guy, so I think he could hit that.
Yeah, it's not like Stafford's been that good, that crucial for the volume there. He's still going to be.
Wolford's he was kind of decent was it last year or 2 years ago when he filled in? I know he runs more, but it's not terrible.
He's not a bad play at all. No, I like the Kupp call, definitely.
Yeah. ETN obviously I've been high on him the past few weeks. His rush and receiving total is 100.5, and I think that's a pretty juicy one as well. Let's see here. Kelsey yards, that's a lock. He's 75 or something.
Always
Kelsey. I like Ayuk this week for some reason. He's been killing it. He's at 50 yards, which is, I think that's attainable. And what else do I got here? I had Friday off, so I went through literally every single football Prize Pick thing. And I finalized my favorite 35 and made it into 7 entries, and it's just psychotic.
Good luck, dude. I hope you take some down, man.
Yeah. And
alrighty, you got one more for the peeps?
One more.
4 out of 5, King.
Yeah, I've hit 4 out of 5 35 times in the last 3 weeks. No joke. I should be a millionaire by now.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, I think Saquon, obviously. He's 19 fantasy points and 93 rush yards. Everyone demolishes Houston, so that's a lock, and that's my last one I got.
Perfect, Hags.
So.
Thanks so much. Fire Byron Leftwich, indeed.
Yeah.
But thanks so much for the call in, brother.
Yeah.
Good luck with those prize picks. Let's get the 5 out of 5 today. I love it.
Yes, sir. All right, see you guys.
Cheers. All right, back to those. But do check out Prize Picks, one of our favorite sponsors, one of the favorite apps we've ever partnered with. So much fun. As you can see, you spend your entire afternoon looking through 35 different prize picks. If you're dead, Hags, love it so much. I'm with you there too.
Oh, they just added another section for, they always had touchdown scores. So because like in Vegas, if you're gonna bet a touchdown score, you're gonna get positive odds. Like it's because it's hard to score a touchdown unless you're like Derrick Henry. And so like they have combinations now in the same game. So it'll be like Amon-Ra and Mooney. So like one of those just needs to hit.
Yeah, that's nice.
So they combo, sweet. They combo touchdown scores now.
I love it. Oh man. So yeah, check out Prize Picks. You hit all 5, you 20x your entry rather. And you can get a free $100 if you use code RSJ. $100 match. No reason not to fire it up with a full bankroll there. It's so addicting. I absolutely love it too. So 110%. Great. Thanks again, Hags, for your Prize Picks of the day. We left off with Dame Roach. What's going on, brother?
Good morning, guys. Non-PPR flex spot. Should I start Rondale or Pittman?
I don't really love either with the backup quarterback situation. So I'd actually go Pittman here in hopes that Jeff Saturday goes back to Matt Ryan by halftime and we get a bunch of peppering targets there. So, yeah, I'm actually going to go Pittman there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Kristen, man, like and subscribe. These guys are must-watch for all your fantasy questions.
Hey. Thank you so much, Kristen, man. We appreciate your hype there so much. Thank you so much.
Jeff Marcus, need one flex help. Gibson, Najee, Collins, Herbert.
I think I'm going Gibson here. No McKissick. Yes, it kind of busted last week. It did flop, but I'm a big fan of Gibson there. A lot of catch potential, particularly if this is a PPR question, Jeff, or half. That definitely helps too. I'm worried about Najee losing the job to Jaylen Warren. I am. That's how bad he's been. That I will worry about that. So I'm going to go Gibson. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, Herbert would be my next right below him, but I go Gibson. Why am I missing something about Nico Collins? Like, I don't understand why he's been talked about for 2 years and he's never done anything.
He had a couple good weeks in a row before he got hurt. A couple top 30 wide receiver games, couple double-digit games. So he was looking pretty good. Then he got hurt. But it is that idea that like maybe Cooks is getting freezed out and they're trying to like breed their Nico Collins to be that number one like target of the future. Let's see what we got in this guy. He's been definitely getting better volume than Brandon Cooks lately. So he's actually not an awful play at all. It is a tough secondary. He's coming off an injury. I don't love him. Certainly not even close to Gibson or Najee today. But he's intriguing as a stash, I think. Looks like we have a call, but I can't tell if anybody's there. So if you are there and you're doing like a dramatic entry,
I'm going to guess it may be Tom Sick, but
that's my guess too. But I want to just give me like a thumbs up or something that you are actually there, and we'll make sure to pull you in. We're just seeing a ceiling right now. So now they're out. All right. Y2J 229.
They wanted to surprise us. Oh, Higgs is back. Y2J is starting Hurts, Eckler, Jones, Kirk, Palmer, blah, 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 blah. I should put up decent points.
Yeah, good luck. I think it's a pretty damn good lineup right there. So hope you take it down, Y2J 2J.
Brendan Uthman. Got Lamar out this week. Need to stream a QB available or Goff, Rodgers, Russell, Wolford, or Dalton.
Ooh, tough. I go Goff here and just hope that game shoots out and he hits the ceiling because we've seen some huge games from Goff. No interest in starting Rodgers. No interest in going to Russell despite the good matchup here. So I'm going to go Goff.
Kristen Mann, standard 12. Need a running back 2 and a flex. Jamal Williams, Connor, Kirk, and Wando.
I'm going to go the 2 running backs here. I do like Christian Kirk a lot, though. Standard's tricky, but that's a shootout game. A lot of points to be had in that one. I love Jamal Williams here. And I think I'd go James Conner over Christian Kirk in a standard. What about you, CJ? It's tricky.
I don't know.
I'm a big Kirk fan.
I like Kirk a lot this week.
I do too. I like him most weeks.
And Jamal. So, yeah, I'd go Jamal and Kirk, I believe.
I like that too. I do feel good about Kirk. I was like running backs and standards always, but I think Kirk finds the end zone. I think he gets a lot of volume today. They're going to need it against the Chiefs. So, yeah, let's go there. And quarterback, Murray is going to probably sit. So I would go Goff over McCoy. It doesn't seem like Murray's going to play. I saw a report that like Colt McCoy's friends all bought tickets to the game and they have insight to whether he's playing or not. So it seems likely that Colt McCoy is going to be the quarterback today. I'd rather have Goff.
Haven't Colt McCoy's like friends seen him play enough? Guy's been in the league and playing at Texas like for 20 years now.
Yeah.
They've seen enough football games. Heg said he has one more question he wanted to ask.
What's up, Hegs?
No, it's not a question. It's just Heg Schefter coming in hot. Free Rachaad White. Leonard Fournette has a hip injury. He's doubtful to return.
Oh,
finally happening, boys.
We've been waiting for this one all year.
I've been on the bench for about 8 weeks, and he's 800 times better than Fournette. So it's finally happening. And
the week has come for.
Did you guys see Josh Allen wasn't at warm-ups, but he's active?
Yeah, we saw that too. We're trying to figure out if you see any more news, feel free to pop back in. Like Josh Allen's officially confirmed as the starter or the backup. Like we have no idea what's happening there. So definitely Heg Schefter. If you get any insights from your good friend, please let us know.
All right, free Rachaad White. Peace out.
Cheers. Thanks for that news. That's huge. So Rachaad White, there hasn't been a single waiver wire show this season that I have not had Rachaad White as a top 10 pickup. Some weeks he's even been number 1. And this is why, folks. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, as we've always talked about that bench turn, the bench tryouts, if he was out there this morning, hopefully you picked him up. I sure did on all my rosters. I was planning to drop him if he did nothing today, but this is why you hold on to him. He is now looking at potential low-end running back 1 numbers. It's not quite the offense, obviously, that we've seen the past 2 years. So it isn't to the level where it was like, this is the best handcuff in fantasy football because it just hasn't been that big enough.
So today he already has 71 yards on 18 carries.
Woo! Rachaad White week, baby. Yeah. I'm a little fucking hurt right now, but I guess I can't be that mad. I traded Rachaad White for Justin Fields 2 weeks ago. And obviously I got the 42-point effort and like, I love it. I have my top 6 quarterback the rest of the year, but man, like Rachaad White does have low end. I was trying to talk him into any other running back on my bench, like Brian Robinson or anyone else. He's like, nope, it's Rachaad White. And
I'm surprised he took that.
I know. But he has Pat Mahomes. He didn't,
okay.
He was never
at least he got
Fields.
some, yeah.
Damn. Rachaad White, though, this is hopefully why you've been listening for the 10 straight weeks of waiver wire shows. Low end. I mean, even high end running back 1 upside in the right matchups. If Fournette's out, talked about it. Fournette's missed 3+ games in all but 1 year, 4 out of 5 years of his career, and he's missed time in every season. So this could linger. We've seen him slowly recover. We know playoff Lenny, they're going to want to get him back. Rachaad White's clearly playing well right now too. So if you hopefully again you stash this guy ahead of the game, this is the exact reason. We're not sitting here trying to celebrate or like dance on somebody's injury, but this is the actionable takeaway.
It's Leonard Fournette. I don't really care.
Yeah, he'll be back for the playoffs. He'll have a great but I wouldn't be shocked if they just kind of turn the keys over for a good portion of the season now to Rachaad White. Let's see what we got in the guy. There was already reports that he was trending to take over the backfield. Man, this is what we're waiting for.
He started today.
Yeah, he started?
Yeah. He got the first snap today. Yeah.
I completely missed that one. So, yeah, Rachaad White, if you early preview of the waiver wire for this week, number 1 pickup by a mile. This is blow all your fab. If you missed out, you haven't been listening, he's the type of guy you're blowing your number 1 claim for. You're spending all your fab to go get if he's out there. Rachaad White, moving forward. Our man, good to see, Seamus J. Timberlake.
Playoffs aren't out of reach yet. He's staying alive like Saturday Night Fever.
Seamus bringing it up the dance moves, baby. Let us know if you have any questions.
That's someone who needs to call in.
Well, yeah, seriously, why have you not called?
I texted him earlier today. I told him to call in.
Yeah, get your ass on the phone line, Seamus. We need to hear from you. The people need Seamus.
Rico Baptiste with the stupid question. Debo or Pickens in the flex? Well, you answered it yourself.
There's no dumb questions in life, but that's a dumb question. You got to go Debo. And I love Pickens. We're going to be laughing because we're making fun of this one, and Pickens is going to have like his 25-point breakout day. That certainly could happen, but you can't bench Debo for Pickens. Like Debo's Debo. You know, the volume concerns, I get it. And I get Christian McCaffrey, what's going to happen here. No more backfield carries for Debo. All a concern, but come on. Like, this is Debo Samuel. He just needs 2 touches to have a monster day. So I'm going Debo, yeah. But Rico, we love you. Thanks for being here.
Good for the algorithm.
Yes.
Kyle Toons, Claypool, Pickens, Everett, sit one of these full PPR.
I'm sitting Claypool there. I feel good about Everett at the tight end spot. I think Pickens is the better play over Claypool. I love having Claypool on my bench. Let's see how this interesting weapon gets integrated. But if I don't have to trust him, I don't want to quite yet. I'd rather see him play every snap before pulling him out there. this is a great week to scout him, though. I'm very intrigued to see what Pickens does.
Tunes have to start Dillon at RB2. Do I stick with him or pick up Chuba? Well, Chuba doesn't matter. Henderson or Gordon?
You stick with Dillon there. It's shit. Like, maybe Melvin Gordon is a better play today, but I still think you roll with Dillon. I probably would rather have Gordon in my lineup, but if that means you have to cut Dillon, then I wouldn't do it. But and Gordon's not a great play. I shouldn't pretend like he's a good play either.
Tunes, Wandale, D. Johnson, Pickens, Hunt. Pick one of these.
I'm gonna go Deontay Johnson. I think he's due for a huge turnaround second half of the year. Looking at expected fantasy points from both our guy Jackson and then also Scott Barrett at fantasy points. Both those guys highlighting like there's been insane volume for Johnson. It just hasn't materialized quite yet. A lot of ESPN's advanced analytics showing this guy's open all the time. Heard a comparison this week, like expected fantasy points wise, he's kind of like what Joe Mixon was. Just looked like on paper he should be a high end top guy, and just the touchdowns hadn't been falling his way. Is he not talented anymore, or is it a matter of regression's about to hit? I don't think it hits at like 55-point Joe Mixon levels, but you could just get a random 25-point day out of Johnson. I also am intrigued by Pickens, like I am, but I'd rather have Deontay in over Pickens if I'm going one or the other. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I'm with you there. Pickens, yeah, as you just said, Pickens is right behind him for me, but I'd go Johnson.
There we go.
Oops, my bad. We clicked at the same time. Everett, Ertz,
you got
Monty.
The click, that's fine. I'll avoid. I'll get out of your way.
Everett, Ertz, Monty, Jeff Wilson, Elliott, DPJ. Need a tight end and a flex.
I'm gonna go Ertz over Everett. I do know McCoy a little bit more, less ceiling there, less floor too. But I don't know. What do you think of Ertz versus Everett?
I like Everett. I'm an Everett guy, but I'm going with Everett as long as Mike Williams and Allen are out. I'm going Everett.
I got to decide between Everett. I have Everett and Ertz as well. That's why I'm pulling it up here. And then I also have Dulcich. Am I going Greg?
I feel like you need to trade one of those because 3 tight ends would just make me fucking angry.
I know. Well, I picked up Dulcich with the intent to trade him. But it just the deal hasn't materialized quite yet. That's tough. It's a tough question.
I'd go Dulcich for you, but I'd go Everett here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think Benjamin Hurts kind of makes sense today with Colt McCoy.
And then trade the.
Oh, we gotta get the flex for Tunes. I'm gonna go Jeff Wilson there for the flex. I know CJ liked Monty earlier. What do you think of Monty versus Jeff Wilson? Who'd you go there?
I like Monty to score today. I'm going Monty.
I like Jeff Wilson to score today and just be a better overall player. You know me. Jeff Wilson's the best running back in the NFL.
That's true. Akil, should I accept Cordero for Rashad White? Yes.
You think so?
Oh, wait. It's the other way around. It's should I accept? Is he trading away Rashad White?
This is a really hard one because it's like, one, do we know?
They just showed Fat Lenny sitting on the bench with his helmet off. So I mean, he's done for the day.
He's done for today, but without knowing like how serious this is going to be. He's not on crutches or anything, right? Like
no.
So it's so tough because Cordero's at his absolute low right now. We had a 4 running back committee. It was as bad as can be, and now he's suddenly inconsistent. If you told me we were about to get 4 games of Rashad White, I'd accept this. I would. We also just don't know though what if Fournette doesn't even miss any time. And what if Cordarrelle Patterson gets himself involved again? There's a wrap around his abdomen with ice for the hip. So that sounds pretty gross, according to David Campanelli. Oh, man. This is fucking brutal. I don't know. I probably wouldn't do this.
I don't know. The Falcons' backfield is so gross.
It's so gross, but you think it can possibly stay that way? Like after they lost,
Yes.
Arthur
Arthur Smith just wanted to just...
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like the hot hand for Cordero. I don't know. I can't see him getting 20 carries or anything.
It is just so sickeningly up or down. But like most weeks, there have been plenty of 20-plus carry days for Cordarrelle. Like gun to my head right now in this exact moment, I'd have a hard time hitting. Yes, I'd rather have Cordarrelle. But if obviously we got news that Rashad White was going to start, I'd say more than 3 weeks, 3 or more weeks. Like if Lenny's headed to the IR, then this is a no-brainer. So you got to just go for it. Like if you need it and you want the upside and you're done with, like, this is there's no way to really know how this ends up being until we know how long Fournette's going to be out. And I imagine if we get an extended news, this offer gets taken off the table. So I don't know. I don't hit it. Do you hit it? Do you hit accept here, CJ?
I think I do. I want to get away from Atlanta. Especially he loves Algier. He likes to just that mismatch.
Avery Williams,
grossness.
Freaking Caleb Huntley. It's gross. It is really gross. But
there's
I don't
more
know
upside for Rashad, I think.
Yeah, I don't. CJ does. Let us know what you do, Akil. Good question.
Actually, there's some funniness with Akil later on. We'll see. I was reading through the questions. Nicola Lewin, Ayuk or Palmer, receiver 2, half PPR.
I'm going to go Palmer really slightly, though. Very, very slightly. Obviously, a little more upside to Ayuk with a deep ball skill set. But I feel like I like Palmer as the number 1 versus now Debo's back. A little bit more question for Ayuk. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you there. Palmer's kind of locked in for me.
There we go. Geno Smith touchdown to Marquise Goodwin as well. I wonder how long it was.
They're making it was like 5-6 yards.
Okay.
Nicola Lewin, should I stash Njoku and get rid of Waller on my IR for tight end?
Yeah, absolutely. Waller done with it. No need to have him anymore in your leagues. Yes, I would rather have Njoku rest of the season. Looks like he'll be back soon, and I think he's a top 5, top 6 guy. With especially with Watson when he comes back, but already with Brissett. So yes, I'd rather have Njoku rest of the season than Waller.
Jeff Marcus, Herbert, or Daniel Jones?
I gotta go Herbert there. I do get the upside to the rushing with Daniel Jones, but to me it's Herbert, and I know Herbert's been pretty damn shitty, so it's tricky. But I'm just gonna ride out Herbert. What about you?
Yeah, I love Herbert. He does kind of stink right now. It's not really he stinks. It's just the whole.
A lot of injuries team around him.
There's just always a dark cloud around that team. It's so sad. I love my Chargers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll stick with them another week, I guess. Nicola Lewin, should I stash Odell Beckham right now?
I would. I have him stashed wherever I can afford it on the bench. It obviously depends on who you have to cut. But yes, I think stashing Odell Beckham, especially if you're in a top 2 to 3 position in your league, could be your wide receiver 3 for the fantasy playoffs and have a really good stretch run here for you.
Evan Buss, I got our running back question. We'll pick 2 of these: Swift, Wilson, Taylor, Warren.
I would go Jonathan Taylor and Jeff Wilson for me. What about you?
Yeah, Wilson's my lock. And yeah, I feel like Jonathan Taylor with Saturday, he's just going to hand him the ball 25 times and hope he does well.
Yeah, Swift, obviously the upside does exist.
He's an offensive line guy too, even though the line sucks. He's going to establish the run.
Well, you've seen the clip where like Manning is like yelling at. Have you seen that before?
Oh yeah.
The clip where like apparently Saturday was like call more run plays in the huddle, and like Manning was like, "Hey, shut the fuck up! Like you don't call the fucking plays. I call the."
I know. I wish we could play video on this. I mean, we could.
I know it'd be fun to put. That's a great video clip. You guys haven't seen it, but he was calling for more runs. So guess what? I think he's going to definitely be trying to establish that run, get Taylor going. Whether they're successful or not, this line has been atrocious all year. But you could see Saturday firing him up and just a 150-yard like Taylor day. So yeah, I feel great about Taylor. Right back into my top 12. And it's Jeff Wilson, baby. You know me. I love Wilson. I want to see Swift get like a full-time role before I go back to him.
The Seahawks are on fire right now. Jesus. Raw WB. Sub fellas need 2 full PPR. Mooney, Herbert, Thielen, Rondale.
I'm gonna go Mooney and Thielen here. What about you?
I know I said I like Montgomery to score, but I also like Herbert to score. I think.
Yeah, it's
bad. I think I like Thielen and Herbert.
Herbert definitely has a ceiling today for sure. But yeah, I go Mooney and Thielen myself. Oh, you got the click.
Something 3-3-3. Cooper, Aaron Jones for the flex.
I'm gonna go AJ. Off the injury report, so the injury was definitely more of a scare than anything. Cooper, we talked about those home road splits that scare me just a little bit here. So yeah, I'm gonna go Aaron Jones there. What about you?
I know you're going away with your home road.
With what?
Your home road splits for Cooper?
Yeah, I am. I'm worried about it. I really am. So, check the prize picks on Cooper. I bet you I would take some unders on whatever his prize picks are.
So yeah, I would go with Aaron Jones definitely.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah, I will look at those. TT Warrior 1, start 3 of these. Gabe Davis, Hollins, Mooney, Pittman, Hawkinson. So sit 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, sit 1 of these.
Sit one of them. Definitely playing Davis. And we still got to get news. Either way, whoever's the quarterback, I'm starting Davis in this question, but still keep us posted if you guys see any news on Josh Allen. I know my man CJ is looking for that too. I loved Hawkinson's role last week. And your 9 catches, 9 targets, right into the number 2 option in this offense. First week with the team. So I'm going to go Gabe, Mooney, and Hawkinson here.
Yeah, Pittman's my set.
And until we get Matt Ryan back, and as we talked about, there is the chance that Matt Ryan comes in second half of the game. Saturday is alluded at the fact that this competition remains open, whereas the other coaching regime seemed like, nope, it's Ellinger rest of year. It's done. So I'd love to see Matt Ryan come back, and maybe he does come back as early as this week, and that boosts up Pittman right away. Would be great to see for the long term. You can't play a hypothetical game all the time. So, yeah, I like Mooney, Davis, and I'll go with the volume of Hawkinson even in a tough matchup.
But I know, okay, so even if Ryan comes back, say the second half, it's not like he's going to come in and light the world on fire.
You're right.
Like he kind of needs like a full game.
Right.
We're acting like he's going to come in
as
and
our
throw for
savior here.
he's going to come in and throw for like 400 yards at the half.
Yeah, second half like an 800. Yeah, exactly. Just goes bananas.
Here comes the comment I was talking about.
And then we had around here as long as there's they will. Thank you. Y2J supporting the boys. So yeah, Keel, hopefully you stayed through the news. We definitely try to give some takes. Obviously,
I love our Wolves just right away. Hey, fuck off. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I love that our the advice you seek from the legends. our Wolves are the best. Thank you, Wolfpack, for clarifying to everybody. We do try to mention that at the top. We're going to go through some news. We're going to go a few of our favorite like waiver wire stashes through that news to hopefully give you some actionable advice before we get there, because maybe we'll answer your question even before we get there. So thank you guys for pointing that out. But we do dedicate, an hour and a half of 2 hours of our Sunday mornings to answering your questions as well.
Rashad White is so good. He just iced the game pretty much.
Did he score a touchdown?
No, it was like a third down and he had a 10, 15-yard run.
Nice.
Richard Best, good morning, guys. Need 2 flex players today. Gibson, Gallup, Dylan, Rondell.
I'm going to go.
Or he could go Ertz and Schultz if you want to.
I might. If you need 2 of these guys, I like Gibson. I feel good about Gibson. The rest of them I don't like really at all. I'd probably prefer both tight ends and Gibson is how I'd play this one. What about you, CJ?
No, I think he could start both tight ends and one as a flex.
Yeah, so he's starting just one of these and start both tight ends. So I'm just going Gibson and I'm going both tight ends. Are you not?
Oh, he needs two flex guys. Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 total flexes.
Yeah.
So you go double tight end.
Yeah, I'd do that.
I trust Schultz over Gallup as of right now. I think long term maybe Gallup could take that flex role for you, but we've already seen Dak's connection. Whenever he's been in, Schultz has gotten 9-10 targets dating back to last year. So I feel really good about Schultz. I'm not overly worried about Colt McCoy for Ertz. And then Gibson just feels better with McKissick out. They have to throw. I can see like an 8-catch day for Gibson. So yeah, that's where I'm leaning.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Sarah Riley, half PPR flex, Swift, Williams, Ayuk, Wilson, Gabe Davis.
I would go. We just got to pick one of these. That's tough. Williams versus this one's kind of coming down to Williams versus Wilson for me, and I think I'm going to go Jamal and hope for the touchdowns. I don't want to get off Jeff though. I love Jeff today. I don't know. I'm going
Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal's been so steady all year, but I'm feeling Jeff. I really am. I can't go back to Swift quite yet. So if I'm going Detroit, I'm going Jamal, but my gut's screaming Jeff. So I'm going to go Jeff. And I would not bench any of those other guys you got in Sarah. So yeah, I think that's the right calls.
Josh Allen is now on the field.
Okay. We got
so he's now throwing a football at 12:15. Who would you start, Jonathan Taylor or Aaron Jones?
I would start. Oh boy, I would go Jonathan Taylor. I think, and I know that's a little riskier here. But it's not like Aaron Jones is risk proof. He's coming off an injury himself and tough matchup versus the Cowboys. I'm going for Taylor here. What about you?
Yeah, I think we're buying into the Saturday establish the run narrative.
I'm all in on Saturday establishing the run today.
And especially with the 15-year-old that's probably calling plays for him.
Exactly. We got a couple super chats coming in. Thank you guys so much for your support of the show. Good way to jump the line. Make sure you get yourself an answer. Let's go.
Jacob Anderson, 2 defenses against terrible quarterbacks. Would you rather go the Raiders D against Indy or Rams D against the likely Colt McCoy?
I would like to go the Rams against Colt McCoy here. Just a better overall defense. Like Raiders, they can get after the passer, but I do think Jonathan Taylor can get going today. So I'm going to go Rams here. Just a better overall defense at home. Like I feel really good about them. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you there. Especially even like with Kyler, that offense just kind of run its course at this point. I think we're just like waiting for Kingsbury to get fired.
Yeah, 100%.
And then we got Ryan Hemming sending us some pounds from the pond.
Thank you, Ryan. Much appreciated from across the pond.
Ahoy, good sirs. One of Swift, Jamal, and Sanders.
I like Sanders here. Miles Sanders is my guess. I mean, he's been rock solid. Washington's not a great defense. Better against the run than the pass, but definitely a good touchdown spot for Sanders. I feel pretty good about that. What about you?
With you again. Jamal, very close, but yeah, I go Miles Sanders. And then Moore or Sutton?
Guessing that's Rondale Moore. I prefer Sutton. I like the matchup today. I think, definitely a rough month so far for Sutton. Could get him back on track. He had a really nice start to the year. I feel like this is a good spot for a Sutton rebound. What about you?
Yeah, Sutton for me there. And then Schultz or Dulcich. I'm going Schultz myself.
I like Dulcich there. I know I'm a little – I feel like this one's going to bite me in the ass. I don't know why. I'm starting to get like a little queasy about my love for Dulcich, but he's had 12-plus points, tight end 1 like every week. I just feel good about him. He's so like cemented into this offense right now.
Yeah, no, I like him a lot. I like Schultz with Dak.
I do too. I like Schultz a lot too. I'm going to go Dulcich though. Playing a decent appointment, need max upside. Like both those guys do have some good ceiling, but I'm going Gregory. I'm going Dulcich. Let's go, baby.
Roto Country, let's ride. Another huge run to actually ice the game from Rachaad White. So Bucks won. Rachaad White ended 2 huge runs into the game.
Wow. Huge day. Rachaad White day has arrived, folks. And again, hopefully you've been listening to us the last
hopefully
10
you're
weeks.
not. Hopefully, actually, well, that's okay with me.
What is it?
Bulldog dropped Rachaad White for Jeff Wilson.
I mean, that's fine with me too. Yeah. Jeff Wilson's going to be running back one the rest of the year, but I wish he had them both. That's for damn sure.
And Hemmings meant Cobb, not Moore. Oh.
What? Can you pull it back up?
Ryan Hemmings meant Cobb, not Moore.
Is Randall Cobb even playing?
I have no idea.
That makes it even easier. Randall Cobb, I think, is on the IR right now. And even if he played, it's not Randall Cobb. So, yeah. No. All right, we left off here with Trey S.
All right, Trey S. Good morning, gents. Full PPR, Judy or Josh Palmer?
I'm going to go Josh Palmer there. I feel really good about Josh. What about you? 10 targets?
Yeah, I'm with you with Palmer. As long as Keenan and Mike Williams are out, Palmer will play.
Yeah.
Bulldog, good Colin Foreman had him on the bench prior to Thursday night, but I started him after it.
Oh, okay, good. I thought he was being sarcastic because I told a couple people to bench him, including myself. So I'm so glad we got that one right for you, Bulldog. I had him in a couple leagues too. There's a few spots. I benched him where I had Jeff Wilson. We still don't know exactly how that will play out, but I don't know. I mean, 19. If I had 19 points in my lineup, I'd be very, very happy. Jeff Wilson could still outdo that, but that would take a massive game. Not saying he's not without it, but yeah, I'm glad we got it right for you, Bulldog. Good stuff.
Andres, sub fellows in a tough spot with Njoku being out. I can pick up Bryant, Trevon Johnson, Logan Thomas, or Grayson if Mo Alley sits.
Yeah, ugly times, Andres. Ugly times. Bryant, maybe? What about you, CJ? I'll just go for the automatic plug-in and just go for the offense.
Yeah, I was thinking of him for DraftKings today, but
2,700, like
Jawan Johnson's been really good lately too.
Yeah, he has, and I mean Granson does get the role kind of to himself. Is Mo Alley Cox officially ruled out? But that's a gross offense too. I don't actually want to buy into that.
No, I don't.
Juwan has had some big plays. I'm going to go Bryant here, though. I just bumped him in my rankings. The more I think about him, the more I like him.
Yeah, Brissett does love his tight end.
Yeah.
Let's go Bryant.
All righty. There we go. Let's go Harrison Bryant, baby.
Philip Colleton. Good morning, guys. Connor or Devin Singletary?
I'm going to go I'm going to go James Conner. They're both very close. I do have Connor just a bit ahead. I know Colt McCoy makes this a little bit more worrisome, but I just feel like we also saw these guys play together last year. A lot of dump offs, a lot of touchdown opportunities. Like, he just becomes kind of the centerpiece of the offense. James Conner does. 2 of his biggest games of last year came with Colt McCoy. So I like Conner. I'm okay with him this week. Singletary is Singletary. It just doesn't feel amazing. And maybe Hines gets even more involved this week, second week with the team. So I'm going to go Conner there. What about you?
Yeah, you talked to me into Conner last night. I'm going with Conner. We got Mr. Benny T with the generous super chat.
Very generous. Thank you guys so much for the super chats today. Coming in hot today.
He can't call in and promote me today, but he has husbands begging their wives not to watch the stream. Thielen, Zeke, or Pickens PPR?
Zeke unlikely to play. He could play. If you told me Zeke was playing, I'd like Zeke here, but
I like Thielen, I think.
I like Thielen in this game with a lot of points, but Hawk kind of took him over this last week as like the number 2 option. I wonder if that continues. I have Thielen. He's been kind of shitty all year. Like, I think he's had one like pretty good game, and the rest has been like, I don't know. I really do think this could be Pickens like coming out party day. I kind of like Pickens. What about you?
I'm going with Thielen myself.
All righty. There you go. We'll see what happens. Just got to fire off one quick tweet. So keep going, CJ. I'll be right there.
Yep, we got Campanelli. I don't know if we answered this during the chat earlier, but full PPR running back start 3 of these: Jeff Wilson, Connor, Pierce, Dylan, Herbert, Jalen Warren. Pierce is the lock. Connor is probably, I'd go the first 3: Wilson, Connor, Pierce, over Dylan, Herbert, and Jalen Warren.
All righty. I wasn't listening at all. I'm just trying to get one thing fixed in my rankings.
I think Wolf would agree with me there.
What time are we at?
We are at 12:25. I know. Want to do a rapid fire thing for the last 15?
Soon, but I gotta get a couple things fixed right here. So
I'd say we only have about 20-ish questions left.
Okay, sweet. I'm definitely gonna go Dulcich over Freiermuth. And yeah, the running back one, David, Pierce, Wilson, Connor. Yeah. Is that what you said too?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely there.
All right, James Hall, Najee, or Jeff Wilson?
I would go Jeff Wilson.
Fuck Najee. Jeff Wilson.
Yeah. Keep on going.
You good?
Yeah.
Oh.
I said Jeff Wilson, 100%.
Okay. Campanelli, nothing's better than looking at CJ's sexy beard on a Sunday morning.
Always getting the love from the peeps. You love to see it.
Tunes, Tannehill, or Brissett?
I'm going Brissett, 100%.
Tannehill's gross. James Hall, Jamal Williams, or Taylor?
I like Taylor, 100%. I'm feeling it today. That's what I was actually typing a tweet about. I'm feeling Jonathan Taylor today. I'm back. I believe Saturday's going to establish that thing.
So in my other league, Leo got he had Taylor. Obviously wanted to get rid of him. He got an offer, Jamal Williams and Lockett, and he took it. I kind of like that for Taylor. I talked him into it. So.
Yeah, I do too. I like that tribute.
Bobo Fat, is Landry worth an ad? I was thinking that too. He's on my waivers everywhere, and I kind of feel like adding him for like the last bench spot.
Landry, not very worth the ad. No. KC defense though. What's the point? I'd rather pick up Jalen Warren. This is what we were talking about with Rashad White earlier. You want him on your bench. You want some upside that could evolve into, a must start. Like Landry's never going to be a must start. KC defense, no reason to hold 2 defenses. Go Jalen Warren. Like get an upside play. Get deep Donovan Peoples-Jones. Is somebody worth an ad over the defense? Yes, but is it Landry? Probably not. So let us know if Warren, any of those guys are still out there.
Giuseppe, drop Wandale for DPJ.
I would go DPJ, yes, over Wandale. What about you? Both as a starter.
I like Wandale though. I do like DPJ. I like Wandale. I'm keeping on Wandale. It's going to be the receiver one the rest of the season. And that grows offense. But Campanelli, RJ Faithful, we really need to get Wolf a Jeff Wilson body pillow so we can go with it.
I definitely.
I am obsessed. My body pillow is my favorite. It's like my favorite thing in the house.
I've recently become a body pillow guy, and I'm a huge fan.
If there was like a camera on me at night, it's disturbing how I like am with this body pillow.
Well, we don't want to know what you're doing with your body pillow over there, CJ. I'm sure it's awfully crusty, but if I had Jeff Wilson's face on mine, it might be pretty crusty too. Demented. All right, continuing on past the body pillows.
Boba Fett, DPJ Landry. Oh no, DPJ Landry, Gallup, Akers, or Spiller worth adding? Oh, so that's the same question from Boba. You're just adding more players.
I mean, of these, like the most intriguing person for the bench would probably be Gallup or Spiller. You know, if you want a running back that can develop into something massive, if something happened to Eckler, Spiller would be a no-brainer. But if you're allowed to churn your bench, so I would say DPJ, actually. You know what? I already said DPJ. Definitely my favorite option. But if you're allowed bench churn, let's say you pick up DPJ, gets hurt. Go to Gallup at 4 p.m. Nothing happens there. Give him a cut for Spiller because Spiller plays tonight. So you can kind of churn your bench and use that spot. No reason to keep the KC defense there, though.
Giuseppe's asking Fields or Goff.
Oh, come on, Fields. Not even close.
Manalakis, Guten Morgen, gents. Tricky spot this morning with Kyron activate from the IR, making it harder to pick up a kicker. Option A, stash Kyron or Pacheco, no kicker. Option B, drop both, pick up Dotson and a kicker.
I mean, I would, as long as you're allowed to pick up Dotson on Monday night, I'd wait that one out. As long as you're able to pick up Kicker the Dicker tonight, I'd wait it out too. Maybe I'm very much open to cutting both these guys for the kicker and Dotson, 100%. Now, let's say Kyron or Pacheco take over their backfields today. Obviously, you keep whichever one it is, but I think you have the ability, Charlie, to wait this one out with Dicker tonight as your kicker, and then Dotson going Monday night as long as you don't think he's going to get scooped. So I think you just play this one out, and I am not opposed to dropping either of those running backs, if not both, if both show nothing today.
I like that idea. Giuseppe Russo, Goff or Lawrence?
I would say I kind of like Trevor Lawrence today, chasing points. Looked pretty good last week. Good matchup. The Chiefs have been a soft matchup. I like going Goff. I mean, Lawrence.
If it's a 2-quarterback league and he has Fields going, and I kind of like the back and forth with the game stack.
Yeah.
David Repko, should I pick up a different kicker because Las Vegas offense is busted up? More of a long-term push question. Playing for 9-1 this week, and should I pick up Pitt for defense?
Carlson's been real solid. I mean, he's one of the few guys that's just automatic from 50. So I don't think he's been so good. I know he had a couple down weeks, but I'm not. I think I'm going to stick with him unless you got someone you really like there. I like Pittsburgh today too. But Buffalo against Minnesota is in a good spot as well. I prefer Pittsburgh like this week, but rest of season, Buffalo's been so good that I probably prefer them rest of the year.
CDA Lions, I'm projected to lose by 15, so we need some upside. Hunt or Herbert?
I'm going to go.
I like the Herbert upside.
Yeah, if you need upside, I think you're going for Herbert. Because Detroit matchup, they've always been hinting at maybe he takes over. But yeah, I go Herbert.
Yeah,
for upside.
Sarno saying the proposals on Battle disappeared. Send it again.
That's probably why I couldn't find you. Maybe again, like I said, I'm going to try to take a good 10
I don't know. I got one last night and I accepted it this morning, so I don't know.
There might be like a short lifespan.
Do you think it was because of the 9 o'clock kickoff today?
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. That's actually probably 100% what it was the 9 p.m. kickoff, 9 a.m. kickoff today. So that's my guess, Sarno. If you can find me again, I would love to face you. I'll definitely log in and see what we can do.
Yeah, one of you guys probably has actually, yeah, you have the Buccaneers, right?
Yeah, so
you have Evans and Godwin.
Yeah, exactly. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Sebastian Alex, should I start Josh Palmer over Debo or over Olave?
No. I'd play, as much as I do like Palmer this week, I'd play either of those other guys over him. Yeah.
See, I think I would over Debo hypothetically, but I'm such a puss. I'd probably go Debo over.
That's not the good part. Like Debo is a monster. Like
I know, but that offense is just so many great players and so few footballs to go around.
I'm just hoping it becomes a points bonanza type of situation. Everybody's going off.
Trade Debo is what I would say.
Yeah, maybe you can rely on Debo's name value.
Ariel, YT, Josh Allen, or Tua, and then Galladay or Carter.
Tua's like quarterback 3, quarterback 4. Like definitely less risk with Tua, but they did talk again about Josh Allen is not at risk of like making it worse. It's just a matter of pain tolerance. So could he leave? Like, could it be killing him? He's just like, I can't be in here, coach. Maybe, but Allen doesn't seem like that guy to me. So I'm going to go Josh Allen here. And yeah, I'm going to queue up a rapid fire, CJ. I do have some stuff to figure out in my own lineups, my DraftKings. So I'm going to go rapid fire here, folks. One last plea. If you're here with us, that thumbs up button does help us grow, get out to so many more people. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing, becoming a member with the pack here. Almost at 3K. So would love to get there for the season. It would be so awesome to have your support and doing it. See a bunch of new names. So if you like what you're hearing, going to get to all those questions, but please do consider that sub button. Yo, fellas, should I pick up Daniel Jones, Tannehill, Dalton, Pickett, or Jacoby Brissett with no Kyler? And nothing wrong with a good body pillow. Love it. We're definitely a body pillow podcast here as well. Of these options, I like Brissett the most. It comes down to Brissett versus Danny J. Like if we get a Danny J 100-yard rushing day, that could be.
Wait a minute, you skipped like 15 questions.
Yeah, this is a super chat.
Oh, oops.
Yeah,
I wasn't paying attention.
So I'm going Brissett there. 100. Daniel Jones is close. Again, the 100-yard rushing upside against a really bad run D is absolutely there with Danny J. That's how he gets there, and I see that narrative. But I prefer Brissett. I love the matchup. I think that game shoots out, and his Browns offense is very, very competent. Whereas I could see that like Houston Giants game. Giants haven't scored more than 27 points in their season high, and the rest have been right around 20 to 18. Like it's kind of gross to me. So as an overall like ceiling, offensive ceiling, I could see the Browns having a bigger overall day, and Brissett being a part of that. What about you, Brissett versus? I don't think that the other ones are in play.
Yeah,
but I think Brissett versus Danny J is a good question.
See, you're so on Brissett, it almost scares me.
I know. I'm acting like Brissett is like sure thing. He had 20 points last week, but
yeah,
I think most would say Daniel Jones. He's certainly.
I was gonna say, I think I would say Daniel Jones. Yeah, Texans. It's funny saying like the Texans can't stop the run, so you have to play Daniel Jones.
Danny Vick out there.
I know. I like Daniel Jones today. I'm going Daniel Jones. But yeah. I can see I like your Brissett. It's just that you're so confident, but it kind of scares me.
I'm sure I know it come off as confident. It's Brissett. Like I'm not sitting here like lock him in. Nobody's a better bet for 20 points. Like it's definitely a risk. But I think your like floor is 15 with Brissett. Daniel Jones has had like only 2 games above 15 so far this year. So like I don't know. I just feel pretty good about Brissett today, but I get it. I get why.
I could see both of them. I know it's stupid to say. I could see both of them scoring like 14 or 15.
Yeah, and then
it's not going to be a huge difference either way.
Yeah, that's true. The biggest ceiling is like Daniel Jones going off against a bad run D, for sure. So let me see where we left off with like right around Menelaus. All my proposals dropped for Sarno. So again, yeah, I'll definitely go check that and see if we can get going there. So rapid fire, thumbs up. Sebastian Alex, great to see you. Thanks again for your support on Thursday with your super chats. Josh Palmer over Debo.
Where do you go?
Or Olave? No, not over either of them. Yeah, that's right. We left off there. So I would go Allen over Tua unless you really just want safety. I'm definitely doing DeAndre Carter over Golladay. Lucio, more with Kyler out, Pickens, I'm going Deontay Johnson. I think both him and Pickens are definitely the upside play. Who knows which one ends up being the high scorer? I'd take my money on Deontay Johnson having a rebound. Fournette doubtful. Yeah, we talked about that. Rashad White, pickup of the week. Let's go. Rashad White season has finally arrived, folks. Happy Sunday, fellas. Wan'Dale Robinson, Curtis Samuel, or Brandon Cooks. I'm going to go Curtis Samuel there. Worried about Brandon Cooks on this team right now. Clearly tapped out. Start 3. Maybe he has a good stretch run, though. Really, really soft schedule. We already answered that one. It was Davis. It was Mooney. It was Hawkinson. Kyron Williams over Wan'Dale? No, I would go Wan'Dale. I'd go Gallup over both of them. Just got White. There you go, Philip. Thank you for the advice. Hell yeah. I mean, again, it's always tough because you never want to circle around somebody's injury, but that was the reason why we've been very much hyping up Rashad White all season so far. Thank you, Kristen Mann, for being here and using such polite manners. Holden White looking like it's paying off. Absolutely, Robert. Looking like one of the best holds you could have had. A.J. Dillon for Rashad White? Yes, I would absolutely prefer A.J. Dillon. I actually have to drop one of them in one of my leagues for a kicker. And now that Rashad White went off, I am absolutely dropping A.J. Dillon for him, for the kicker here and keeping Rashad White. Would you drop Russ for Dotson? I have Dak. Yeah, why hold on to Russ? Drop Russ for anybody, but especially Dotson. And again, I'm going to keep saying I'd rather have Jalen Warren today because you can pick up Dotson tomorrow. This is why Rashad White this morning, the schedule was Rashad White this morning, then Jalen Warren, then Jahan Dotson. Now it's obviously become, if you picked up Rashad White, you're not dropping him for any of those guys. But that's the protocol. If you didn't have Rachaad White, you absolutely should go Jalen Warren, then Dotson on Monday night is how I'm doing my bench stashes for the week. Sutton, Devonta Smith, Pickens, need 2. I'm really high on Pickens, but I like both those other guys just a little bit more. But man, that's a really tough one. Hurts, D. Smith, Henry. Any suggestions? I need you to, David, you got to limit that. I don't know who you're actually weighing, but I do really, really like Pickens today. So I'm not sure who exactly comes in to play here, but I really like Pickens. So let us know if it's Pickens versus those other options. It's Pickens. If you need a second one, it's probably Rondale. That's probably McKenzie with Allen back. Would you pick up Henderson? He's available in my league. I'd, again, probably rather have Jalen Warren and see what happens. I'm not a big Henderson guy. I never have been. Kyron Williams even. Let's see what he does today.
Josh Allen is in fact starting today.
In fact, starting. All right, we have the official confirmation. Play Allen with confidence. Play his weapons with confidence. It's not something that can get much worse. Just a matter of pain tolerance, and I think he does hold down the fort today. Do I drop Higbee for Cole Kmet this morning? Full PPR? I'd rather have Higbee, I think, but I don't love either of those guys. I like Dulcich more. Jeff Wilson or Sutton for applicant? Definitely Jeff Wilson. You know this is a Jeff Wilson show, baby. Absolutely. Love, guys. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Love it as always. Thank you. Good to see you, Lewin. Thanks for tuning in as always. Go Holy Cross. Number 5 in the country right now, CJ, for D1 AA. Those Crusaders taking over the world. They're going to win this thing this year. I'm telling you. I'm definitely trying to hit a playoff game.
North Dakota State down a little bit. They have a chance.
North Dakota State what?
They're down a little bit this year. They're not as dominant as they usually are.
Right, yeah. The big ones like Villanova, there's definitely some good teams still there, but I like their chances. They've been playing some great ball all year. Lawrence or Wilson. I'm going Trevor Lawrence, Jose Vega. I'm never going for Russell Wilson. I still like Jeff Wilson more long-term, but yeah, I mean, I wish I had them both Bulldog, him and Rachaad White. Meant Cobb, not more. So again, I don't think Cobb is playing Hemmings, so that makes it even easier, but it would have been Sutton either way. Palmer or Gabe Davis. I'm going Palmer even with him. Leaning towards Palmer, but Pickens versus Palmer by Y2J. I'm going to go Palmer. Again, love Pickens today. Could see it be in the coming out party, but I just feel like there's a really nice floor with Palmer. Mooney or Gabe Davis. I'm going to go Gabe Davis now that we have Josh Allen locked in. Hey, guys, started Kenneth Walker. How did Walker do today? I didn't see his final. It wasn't like his 30 points.
He didn't score. I don't think he did well.
Didn't do much. I have him in the league where I have Evans and Godwin too. So
yeah, he had 17 yards on 10 carries. I don't think.
Boy, and he's been a monster all year. I think we'll be okay, but yeah, that sucks. I have Jacobs and Jones starting by Pollard and Zeke. Is Zeke officially ruled out? He said, and Zeke isn't playing.
I think that's just assumed, but let me see.
I like Pollard there, especially over Aaron Jones. So I'd play Jacobs today, and I'd bench Aaron Jones for Pollard, especially if Zeke is out 110%. And then you get with that matchup being at 4 p.m., if Zeke's in and seems like he's ready for a normal workload, you can just swap those two guys out. But if Zeke is out, you're 110% going Pollard. Singletary for AJ Dillon, I go Singletary. Need a boom, pick 2. Sutton, Gabe Davis, DPJ, and Schultz. You need a boom, though, so you always know the answer. It's Gabe Davis. No one's booming more than him. And I think Sutton could really boom up today, too. So I go those two.
Cowboys aren't until 4 o'clock. We're not going to know about him for a while.
Yeah, but
it's still the same thing. It's still likely out.
The sex bots are here for their sit-start help, but giving them the block here. Do I drop Higbee for Kmet? No. I keep Higbee, but I don't love either. Toney or Curtis S? I'm going to go Curtis S, Mike. But I'm very intrigued to see what Toney does. Chiefs or Giants? I like the Chiefs. Is Mike Evans a bench rest of the season? No. It's Mike Evans. I mean, it's kind of like Gabe Davis, but a little bit safer. It's just so hard to bench because then you get the 3 touchdown day. Zay Jones or Landry? I'm going to go Zay Jones there for Donnie. Tori, Chris, a lot of new names, guys. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing and please do consider that thumbs up button to keep helping us grow. So awesome to see so many new faces out there. We'd love to have you. We're answering your questions 4 times a week. So if you're here, be awesome. Subscribe, hit that bell, join us for our shows. We'd love to have you. Tori, Chris, McCoy, or Heineke? Oh boy. I'm going to go Heineke. He's been okay. He's got rushing upside. Tougher matchup against the Eagles, but McCoy's tough to trust. Rondale or DPJ? I'm going DPJ. Love him. Felix, hello. Prescott or Lawrence? I'm going to go Prescott. Pittman, Pickens, or Deontay Johnson? I'm going to go – it comes down to the 2 Steelers for me. I love them both. I'm going to lean Deontay, especially in full PPR, Robert Ryan. Do I trade away Jacobs for Fields? I have Chubb and Cook and DeMont. I wouldn't. Jacobs is still, 3 30-point days in a row. Like, there's definitely upside to him, Felix. But also, you do have good back. Could you do DeMont for Fields? Maybe. I wouldn't do that, though. I feel like you're selling short, unless it's a super flex league. Chris D coming in with these super chats. So thankful for that. Thanks, brother. I'm going to go Devontae Smith over CEH. CEH played like 17% of the snaps, and I know a lot of it does come in the red zone with a touchdown upside there, Chris, but that's so hard to trust when this guy is on the field so minimally. So I'm going to go Devonta Smith and a bad Washington secondary. That's where I'm leaning. Nice. You got a good Brady week. Very rare this year, Toon, so you got lucky. Indeed. Kirk Cousins, Lawrence, Goff, Daniel Jones, or Jimmy G. I'm going to go Kirk Cousins here. Lawrence would be my next man up, though, if you're feeling a little bit worried about that Buffalo matchup. Better stash, Edmonds or Akers? Neither, but I guess Edmonds, Akers, where's that going to go? There's nowhere for that to go. Maybe Edmonds just like takes over a pretty lackluster group there, Giuseppe. Favorite cookie? I love always asking like favorite breakfast, favorite cookie. Interested to learn more than just your fantasy starts. I appreciate that. I'm pretty basic, CJ. I do love just chocolate chip, but I love like a butterscotch chip or like butterscotch and chocolate chip together. I don't know if you ever had that, but it's so like an oatmeal butterscotch.
I'm not a huge cookie guy. I don't really like chocolate, but oatmeal raisin's my favorite.
Oh man, yeah, those I like oatmeal. I hate raisins. So oatmeal butterscotch, A+, like some of the best cookies you could ever have. Yeah, I lean that way for sure. There's a place called the Cookie Monster that makes some really, really good cookies too. They have like a salted caramel cookie that is legitimately out of this fucking world. Steelers D got a bump. Yeah, I absolutely, with TJ Watt, love them. Let's go 9-1, baby. Good stuff. Walker had, oh God, terrible. So he had some catches. So yeah, at least salvaged his day. And that's actually really interesting usage too. Like 8 targets, 6 catches. So the box score, like the final fantasy number doesn't look great, but that usage.
Well, the game script was horrible for them until the end of the game. They were down 14+ most of the game. That's
great to see though. Like it wasn't, Travis Homer or DJ Dallas. It was Walker as like an every down, seeing all those targets in pass. But like that's great to see. I'm almost leaving this game not like more encouraged because it obviously his lowest fantasy day, I think, as a starter. But yeah, I'd say more encouraged than I was entering it, just because if he's getting that receiving work too moving forward, the touchdowns will come. It's a tough run D. Like, whew, that's pretty sexy to know he got that receiving. Thank you, Tunes, for the update there. Tori, thank you for the nice words. Keep it up. We will indeed. I hope you're back for some future shows. So yeah, a couple other people pointing out Donnie as well. Great receiving usage. So as discouraging as the final numbers, and even in PPR, that actually doesn't end up being like still double digits. Still ends up being a decent day. That's very, very encouraging moving forward. Komet or Taysom Hill? I'm leaning Taysom Hill, but man, that ceiling is like, yeah, it's huge, but it seems like it's going to be far less often that we hit that than we do. And Devonta Smith or Sutton? I'm going to go Devonta Smith, Donnie, over Sutton. And that wraps us up, Wolfpack. Thank you again so much. A lot of new names. Please do consider hitting that sub button if you liked what you saw. We'll be live Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday double time with your recap show tonight at 7:45-ish tonight to get the recap. Meet our guy, The Truth. We'll be live. I'll do Rave Riders on Tuesday. Me and The Truth go live Thursday for sit starts before Thursday Night Football. And then, of course, me and my man CJ here every Sunday. So enjoyed it. You're new around here. That thumbs up and sub button would be so greatly appreciated. Best of luck today. We hope you guys dominate in every league. And RoseTreeJournal.com is where you can find all our content, including my updated rankings. So in a world full of fancy sheep, be the Wolf, guys. Later.
See ya.